training, okay? Because we train and we train hard so that when it's time to actually trade, we know what the hell we're doing.
You have now stumbled into AmericanDreamTrading.com, where we trade shares and options. I will show you about swing trading, long-term trading, dividend stocks, high-yield income stocks, covered calls, cash repair puts, diagonal and credit spreads, debit spreads. I will teach you everything there is to know about the entire market. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I can't believe I get paid to help all of you get paid. This is such a wild thing.
Welcome to American Dream Trading's The Aftermarket. I am your host, J&J Video Reacts, and this is a stream that has been created by traders for traders to just kick back, relax, have fun, enjoy each other's company, and talk about what we've learned and how our day was trading in the market. Hopefully you guys are doing fantastic. Hold on one second, y'all. Hopefully you guys are doing fantastic. I know I am. I've had an awesome day. Didn't do a whole lot of trading, but I did a lot of learning, a lot of training, a lot of paying attention, and just, bettering my skills as a trader. I got, hold on. I got a cool planned show for you guys because I had an epiphany. I said, this is, we try to do some training when we come on there. So, I set up a little bit of a training session for us this afternoon based on something that I heard in the Discord, or something that I heard in the Zoom call earlier. And I thought it was an awesome idea. The 20 trade exercise with Mark Douglas, that gentleman, whoever it was that suggested it, that was an amazing idea. So we're going to cover that tonight. We're going to go over that. I went and looked it up and watched a few videos on it. We're going to go over that tonight because I think that's something that a lot of us would benefit from. So I figured I'd go ahead and set something up. I even got a video clip of Coach, because if we apply the 20 trade rule or 20 trade exercise to the 2-minute EWO strategy, I think we can smooth a lot of things out with it. I understand it, but I understand that a lot of new people are still struggling with it, as was also mentioned in the Zoom call earlier. So it's my way of trying to help you guys out. All right. But first, let's go over roll call. I see you, L&T Motor. What's up, baby? Miranda. Hi, honey. All right. We got Steve Keehan. Welcome. American Dream Trading runs on DD. What's up, Diesel Dan? How you doing, my friend? And then we've got Miguel Lara. Always Miguel Lara. Welcome. KB. What's up, Blue Star? Blue Star. No, what's up, Blue Star? I've been hearing Blue Star Food so much. What's up, JetBlue? Mark McSee, what's up, buddy? What's going on? Brad James. Mark McSee, is that Mark back there? Yep, that is Mark. I see you, Mark. Brad James, what's up, boo? Love you. Shout out to everybody that is still in the Zoom call. Lee, Portuguese Flying Stew, aka Bruno. Everybody that's still over there in the Zoom listening to the earnings, love you. Shout out to DT, the female trucker. Love you, DT. And just know that you are always loved and appreciated in the Zoom call. So hopefully you will come back. And I'm just going to go on record. I don't give a shit who cares or who's got a problem with it. I thought she was completely disrespected in there, and I didn't appreciate that. So, it is what it is. DT is a well-loved and respected member of this community, and I felt like she was disrespected, and I didn't like that. So, DT, I got your back, girl. Love you. Anyway, and I'm not going to harp on that, but that was uncalled for. And if Coach knew that, he wouldn't have that. So, that's Coach's girl right there. Mark, let's bring you in, buddy. Hey, man.
Ditto on your comment. I got so angry I shut it off.
Yeah. I did not like the way DT was treated at all.
No,
at all.
Either. Anyway.
So I'm sure Bruno will get with Coach and Coach will handle it. I talked to him behind the scenes and I expressed my discontent to Bruno. I didn't want to rat anybody else, so I didn't go straight to Coach. But I talked to Bruno. I was like, that was bullshit. But anyway.
Yeah. Well, people have strong opinions sometimes and
Yeah.
then get carried away. So
Yeah.
I wanted to stop in or jump in and break it up myself, but I didn't. I'm like,
Me too, Mark. Me too. But I said,
click,
okay.
click,
Yeah,
turned it
right.
off.
I didn't turn it off, but I was sitting there, and Lee came in and handled it, and Bruno came in and did what he did. So I was like, okay, you know what? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I'm
But
just an ordinary member. I don't see
Yeah.
where, I should let them handle it. That's why they get paid the big bucks. They're all paid actors. They can take care of that. So yeah, well, I mean, I get the gist of what happened. Somebody's bringing in advanced things that, it's not taught on a daily basis in the group. And she was trying to explain that and da-da-da-da-da. So
yeah,
anyway,
it just got way out of hand.
Yeah, I just instead of getting more upset about it,
But you know what? Here's
angry
the
about
thing.
it actually.
That's what I love about the moderators, because Coach trained us to be professional, and that's exactly what happened. We had, everybody came in. Bruno came in. He handled it professionally, and I thought, just shutting everything down was the best thing to do, which was awesome, because new people are in there, and you want everybody to know that we're a unified group. That's the one thing I love about this group is we're family. So it all came together.
It's gonna happen.
Families argue.
Yeah.
Families argue.
You can't get
That's
three
right.
people together without an argument, and let alone
Yeah.
500. So
Families argue and families make up.
Yeah, it's going to happen from time to time. I mean, that's just
Yeah.
the nature of any group, and we move on.
Yeah.
We still love each other. I mean, even if we have disagreements or differences of opinion, we're all come from all walks of life,
Yeah.
different shapes
gotta
and
be nice.
sizes, and yeah. So as long as we treat each other with respect, that's a problem.
Absolutely.
So sometimes it can get out of hand and need to come in there with a big stick sometimes and start swinging. That's all.
Right. And if
It's all good.
it wasn't gonna be pretty. So I was like,
Yeah.
you know what? Let me just not say anything. So
Yeah,
it was
it's
better
all right.
that way. What's
It'll
up,
be
Diesel?
all good. We all
What's
moved,
up?
I'm sure they all moved on. I mean, I hung up, so I didn't even get to listen to where they
Yeah.
calmed it down.
Yeah, Bruno came in and just really smoothed it over.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll get over it. We'll move on. It's water under the bridge. Move on.
Yep.
Had a
Still
doctor's
give her-
appointment. I missed. What happened? Was it bad, or did it get taken care of?
No, yeah, it did. It
Difference
really
of,
did.
Difference of opinion. That's all.
And that's all. That's all it was. But
He's
yeah,
a sweetheart.
yeah, she is. And I know your email, so I'll email you.
Okay.
So
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
a sweetheart. No, she never puts out anything but positive vibes. Anybody that would have any problem with her would be, Coach won't be happy with that.
no, I said the same thing. She's never disrespected anybody, and she doesn't deserve to be disrespected. So, yeah. So, anywho, I'm excited about going over, first of all, Coach's rules, but somebody brought up something really cool. Mark Douglas's 20 trades exercise. I think
haven't seen that.
Oh, me either. I haven't seen it either, but they have a bunch of videos out on YouTube about it. And there was a guy who did an instructional on it, and he just basically covered the gist of it. So I thought it'd be cool to maybe set that up for next week for everybody to try to do it with the 2-minute EWR strategy. If they do 20 straight, that should help people. But anyway, before we even get into it, let's go over Coach's rules like we normally do. Very first thing is do not use real money. Where the hell is this thing?
Ralph said he'll be here, but he'll be late.
Okay. Cool beans. Coach's rules. First off, do not use real money. Make sure that you are paper trading in a simulator. That is first and foremost so that you're not losing real money. Okay. First, let's go to rule number 1. Rule number 1 states do not lose more than 1 to 3% of your account. That is your entire total overall account, not per trade. Okay. Rule number 2, if you have more than 2 red trading days in a row, if this guy is you, don't be this guy. Okay. Make sure you switch it up and do more trading than
she's
training.
on there walking around. I got her on the.
We got trading. Make sure you do more trading than more. Stop trading and start training. My mind is all jacked up. Stop trading and start training. Make sure you get yourself in line. And then we've got rule number 3, which is if you are not a master trader, if you're not a master scalper, please don't try scalping. Go ahead and use the 2-minute EWO strategy. Okay. And if you have an issue with the 2-minute EWO strategy, hopefully what we go over tonight will help get you straight. Rule number 4, no more than 1 to 5 trades daily when you're brand new, because if you're going to overtrade, it can lead to overtrading. And if you overtrade, you're going to revenge trade. All right. And when you revenge trade, you're trading against the market instead of in harmony with the market. Rule number 5 is position size. Go in small. I'd rather see you guys do 5 $12 contracts or 5 $20 contracts than 20, $50 contracts or 20 $100 contracts or 100 contracts. If you're a larger account, instead of going in with 100 contracts, go in with 50. Make your position size smaller. That way you can trade with less stress. All right. When you lower your position size, you offer yourself the opportunity for greater reward with less risk, as Coach always says. Okay. So smaller position size, guys. Rule number 6 is if you are not familiar with options, then do shares. We've got a guy that has created $1 million fortune just off of shares alone. Quite a couple of them, actually. Coach has created 8 millionaires with his 30 years of experience, guys. So he knows what he's talking about. Remember, he teaches us how to get in trades, out of trades, and everything in between. And last but not least, all trades are risky. So make sure that you are using your stops.
Apologize for not muting my mic when I went up to find the dog.
Oh, it's all good. I started to mute it, but I was on a roll. I'm like, it's all good. So yeah, man. So let's get into this. So 20. Okay. I created some thumbnails for it. Oh yeah, by the way, smash the like button. If you have not already smashed the like button, please make sure you smash the like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you are not subscribed to the channel. We are trying to get Coach to 10,000 subscribers by Thanksgiving. Right now, he is 8,863. So we are right knocking at 10,000's door. Let's get him there. We got at least a good 3, almost 4 weeks to do that. Let's get him there, guys. All right. You guys can go become a member of American Dream Trading by clicking the link in the description of this video, which is americandreamtrading.com. Go over and get signed up for your VIP membership. It is amazing. With that comes hot stock picks, trading view indicators, workshop classes, and daily master classes. Every morning we get a master class from Coach. So go over and sign up with americandreamtrading.com. All right, so Mark Douglas. Build your confidence. Let's build some confidence today. All right, with the 20 trades exercise. What is the 20 trades exercise, you ask? Basically, what we're going to do is build confidence and use the 20 trades exercise with the 2-minute EWO strategy. Okay, so if we do 20 trades with the EWO strategy and make sure everything is checked off within that EWO, stands to reason you should come out profitable. All right. So if you're unfamiliar with the 2-minute EWO strategy, let's take a listen.
Rely on the EWO, which is this one, right? So we get the pop, it runs up. Here's your crossover. See it? Which is also right here. It already told you you would have got in somewhere up here. You would have had this confirmation looking good. It's also below VWAP. Isn't that a sign of strength as well? If you're buying a put below VWAP, isn't that a good sign of strength?
Yes, sir.
And then it continues to drive down and it goes below the 200 moving average. Isn't that also a sign of strength?
Yes, sir.
That means you've now
Yes, it
entered
is.
at a 2-minute EWO, VWAP, the 200, the super trend, the trend,
And the crossover.
and now, and now the crossover. Look at every one of those. As it ran, you entered on the 2-minute. It broke the VWAP. It broke 200. You entered on the super trend. See it here? The overall trend is now to the downside. You entered it off of this, right? Down here, you're showing more of a trend, but you get the example. And then there's your crossover. This is now 6 stars trade. See it? Those are all signs of strength.
Okay. That is the 2-minute EWO strategy in a nutshell. We are overcomplicating this thing. Point blank. To get in, you get in with the first largest candle. It may be the second candle. It may be 4 or 5 in. The first largest candle that is larger than the candle before it is your entry for the 2-minute EWO. If you get in after that, you are scalping, period. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you, unless you want to scalp and get in and out, don't sit there all day because you don't know what it's going to do, especially if you don't know your levels, then get out. If you want to wait for the next EWO, then wait for the next EWO. Wait for it to flip color or wait for the next set that actually gets bigger if it goes downhill. Okay? So start over from the beginning. I hear a lot of people ask that, well, if I miss the 2-minute EWO, should I wait for the next one? The answer is yes. Let's stop bullshitting. The answer is yes. If you're strictly doing the 2-minute EWO, yes. Wait until the next time you see that formation. That means you got to wait for that whole thing to finish out what it's doing and go down if you're not a scalper. And wait for the second set where you see that next candle is bigger than the one before it. Wait until that happens if you're strictly 2-minute EWO. Okay? So there's no more confusion on that. Yes. The answer is yes. Should I wait for? Yes. Okay. The next thing, if you're in a put, like in that example we just looked at, coach said, okay, look, it's on a downtrend, right? So you're looking to make sure that the trend is downward. You're looking to make sure that it is below VWAP, or at least about to drop below VWAP. It has dropped below the 200 moving average. And there is a crossover between the 21 and 55, or it's below the 21 and 55. You know, when all those things are checked off, that is a perfect put, right? Mm-hmm. Vice versa, if you're looking to get into a call, is it above VWAP? Is it above the 21 and 55? Have they crossed over if it was in a downtrend? And is it in an uptrend? I don't really use the super trend because it runs late on Webull, but obviously if you're looking and you got the super trend indicator and it says up, then you should be going up. So it's really simple. We got to stop complicating this thing, period. Get in on that second candle that's largest. Make sure if it's a call, it's above VWAP, above the 2155, above the MA 200, and understand the more checks you have, the more profitable a probability is. Okay.
It's all about the entry, and it helps you do that.
That's it.
Coach's indicators that he designed and developed, along with the 2-minute EWO strategy he developed personally. It's a can't miss most of the time. I mean, you're way over 90% success rate with it.
Yep. Is anything 100%? No. Nothing's 100%. But you will get 80 to 90% of your trades will be profitable using this strategy if you do it exactly the way Coach teaches it. You know,
gotta believe it. You gotta trust it.
Commit.
That's it.
David
tested
it on his own. David back tested on his own, not anybody asking him.
I'm so glad you said commit. Yeah, he did. David back tested 87 trades, guys. And of the 87 at first, at first, 80 of them came out profitable. And I believe, what was it? Like 5 of them came out flat and there were 2 losses. Or no, 5 losses and 2 flat. Yeah. But you have to commit, guys. Got to commit to 2-0 right there. 20 straight trades. Start tomorrow. Why wait? Or if you feel comfortable trading on a Friday. If not, because you know, options Fridays are very volatile. So maybe wait till Monday. You know, go study tomorrow. Get some studying in. Watch that 2-minute EWO video 100 gazillion times. And there's tons of them because there's a whole EWO playlist. Watch a bunch of them. And then commit to doing 20 straight EWO trades starting Monday. You know, let's get a commitment. Down in the chat, who we going to get to do this down there? Put a 1 in the chat if you want to commit to doing 20 trades. I'm going to do it with you. Mark, you down? Diesel, you down?
Yes, man.
I'm down with it.
Man.
Yes, I'm in.
You'll find that it works without even having to do 20. That I'll guarantee you.
Yep.
But
we're going to do 20.
20
Yeah.
20's a nice round figure.
20 is a nice round figure. That's the one that Mark Douglas recommends, and I'm imagining it's because 20 gives you at least a decent enough amount of data to go off of. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's just something that a goal that you have but you'll see before you probably even halfway through how well it works. It'll blow your mind.
All right. Thank you, Diesel Dan. Hey, Vegan Knowledge. What's up, baby? Bucket, what's going on? What's up, Paige? How are you, sweetheart? I see you, Ralph. Hey, Bubbles. What's going on, honey? So, all right. So we got Diesel Dan with a 1 down in the chat. We've got Mark McC with a 1 down in the chat. We've got Bucket with a 1 down in the chat. We've got Paige with the 1. Bubbles. All right, cool. Everybody is down with doing 20 trades. KB, good job. Hey, Farrah. All right, guys. We're going to let Coach know what we're doing. I'll tell him about this. Well, he'll see it, right?
Yeah, we know, Ralph, you got to do more than 20. I mean, it should be an everyday. It should be your life, EWO trading. But that's just a number to start with.
That's the exercise that Mark Douglas came up with. So that's what we're doing. That you definitely, my friend, know about this one, right? As much as you talk about Mark Douglas and the disciplined trader and trading in the zone, yeah. So 20 trade exercise. He said, get an edge. Okay. If you don't have an edge, find an edge. We have an edge. The 2-minute EWO strategy, guys. That's our edge. Yep. So we do that 20 times in a row perfectly. All those things have to match. All right. So, and then we'll track it with back testing and journaling. Every trade you have to make sure, and that's just 20 trades. So make sure that you journal every trade. Put in your entry, put in the time that you enter, because that's also going to help us pick the trade apart if you want to come up here and pick it apart, or if you want to pick it apart in the privacy of your own home. That will be able to tell you when you got into the trade so that you can look at the candles and make sure you got in properly. Mm-hmm. So write in your time, write in your entry, write in how much you paid for it, write in whether it was a call or put, obviously, and your strike price, and then write what happened, write what you got out at. Was it profitable or not? Period. You don't even really need to go into what you felt. This is not so much journaling as it is tracking this exercise, right? So keep it short. You know what I mean, Mark? So keep it short and to the point. Just write the figures so that you can, at the end of the week, we can sit down and figure out what everybody came up with. Okay, which means, you know, if we're going to evaluate this at the end of the week, that means between Monday and Friday, we need to get 20 trades in. Now,
even if you only do one trade a day, I mean, you still do it. And mark your results. You got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, so some people will hit the 20 sooner than others. How about that? Let's do that.
Yeah. Some people do that in a day, you know.
Yeah, right.
As long as they journal it and back test what they did and then share the results, we should
just
pretty good.
Write down what candle entry you got in on, because it may not always be the second one is the largest. It may be the third or fourth one was larger than the first, too. Right. So that's something you'll need to write that down so you know for sure which one you got in on if you're going to go back and review it later.
Just make sure it's double the size of that first candle or bigger, you know, just make sure it's bigger, because that's the proper entry point. And make sure you back test it, make sure you journal it, and then evaluate your results. Evaluate your results. What happened? Just like David was able to spit that out to Coach. What happened? Okay, well, I did 80 of them, and it looks, I did 87. This was that first call, because he's well over 600-700 trades now. But he said I did 80 and 87, and 80 of them came out profitable. What did that tell David? That the 2-minute EWO strategy works.
Yep.
That's what he got out of doing that. It let him know beyond the shadow of a doubt, hey, this shit actually does work. Coach is not just talking out of the side of his mouth. He's come up with something that actually works. I was profitable 80 times. So to me, that's a no-brainer. If that works that much for you, it's not like it's going to say, oh, I only work for David. Sorry. You're Dawn. I'm not going to know. Right. It's a process.
Anybody and that's the purpose of doing that. That's the purpose of starting out doing it 20 times.
Right. You ever watch The Profit?
You got to do something 21 times in a row to make it a habit. That's another reason for doing that.
And it takes 30 days to create a habit, at least. So check this out. Have you ever watched The Profit with Marcus Lemonis? Anybody?
No.
Never watched that? He goes in and he helps people clean up their businesses, right? That are struggling. I don't care what kind of business it is. It could be a cell phone store. It could be a freaking donut shop. It could be a clothing or makeup line. This guy goes in knowing nothing about the business, but because he has a proven process, he goes in with that same process on every business and helps them turn it around. He doesn't have to know anything about the business. He learns that once he gets in the door. But his practice and his process, it works, I would say 90% of the time. Now, of course, you got some people that kind of push back because as soon as he goes in, he says, listen, I'm 100% in charge. You got to empty your cup and let me take over if this is going to work. And some people have a hard time with that. They're the business.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's my baby. I'll raise it the way I want to.
Right. So some people have a hard time letting him do that. But when they let go, like Coach says, empty your cup, when they let go and let him take over, they are pleasantly surprised by the results. And then they're bought in from that point. So that's what we're doing. We're back testing and doing the same exact thing that David did with the 2-minute EWO. Now you just saw how to do it. There's no excuse. Okay, let's do it 20 times in a row and be profitable, right? Be profitable. Now, here's the thing. There's somebody else that said something too today. I have a problem when to get out, right? If you listen to David's video, David got out when he was green. He didn't wait and let the EWO play out. So there's two schools of thought there. And I heard Bruno talking to the guy. And he said, I think Bruno was struggling with whether he wanted to tell the guy, just go ahead and do, finish it out as a scalp. Don't sit there through the whole thing if getting out is your problem, right? But he didn't want to say that to the guy. So he didn't necessarily put it that way. But he said, if you're getting in and you're getting green at some point, don't be afraid to just go ahead and take profit if you're not sure when to get out, right? I think that was good advice.
I do too.
Yeah. I think that was good advice. So if you're green, and green to you could be $1, it could be $20. Maybe you have a goal that you've set. I want to make $50 a day. And if you see you're at $50, you want to cut it off. Coach would tell you not to do that. That goes against Coach's strategy. And the 2-minute EWO, you have to let it play out. So here's how you do that. Go in small. Okay? You are not doing these 20 trades for profit. Let me repeat that. You're not in the 20-minute commitment for profit. If you want to do another trade for profit, do that. But these 20 cannot be for profit. If you profit, that's good. That's what we want.
And you will.
Yeah. But the goal is not to profit. So go in small. And I'm talking 2 contracts, because don't forget, we don't want to go in with 1 contract. You got to train yourself not to go in with just 1 contract. Do a minimum of 2 contracts. So that means you have to pick a stock that you want to do that is maybe low for you, whatever your account size is, and do 2 contracts. If 10 is small for you, then make it 10. But do a small commitment. Set your stop for the beginning, like Coach says, for 25 to 40%, and then set your stop for at or above what you paid once it goes green, right? And just do 20 trades. That way, you're not focusing on making money. That's not the goal of this exercise. The goal of this exercise is to master the 2-minute EWO. Okay? So that's what our goal is. Don't go in it for profit. You are going into it for process and process only. You just want to learn and finally get this shit right, how to do this trade. Coach says it works. David says it works. Everybody that uses it properly says it works. How do I get it right? This is how. Go in with a small, pick two $20 contracts, $40, $40. You know, maybe set it up to where you set a stop on each one for $5, right? That way you're losing 10 total if you lose, but it allows you to sit in the trade like you're supposed to. If you enter it properly, then the goal is to sit in it until it's time not to sit in it, which means most likely there's a color flip and you find it's about to go into the red. Yeah, don't let it go into the red. When you see it trickling down the hill, get the hell out of there or shave one of those contracts. That's why you get two, right? Or however many. Just don't get just one. That's where you shade. Because don't forget, I've seen 2-minute EWOs where the color has flipped and then it's flipped right back. So you can't even really go off a color flip on a true 2-minute EWO. A true 2-minute EWO really should last until there is a definite trend change, period. Right?
Mhm.
So
Absolutely.
yeah, I wouldn't get out until, the indicator. And if you're using a trading view indicators, it's a no-brainer. They'll tell you when to get out. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a good reason to push the indicators right there. Use the indicators if you have them, because they will tell you when to get out. But do not get out before that. Don't just take your profit. Get out when you're supposed to get out. That's when the 2-minute works for you. So I'm excited. I think it's gonna be, huh?
We got to do a one-on-one. You're a one-on-one trainer, man. You got this down. You're doing great. I love it.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Everybody needs to listen to you. Yeah.
Yeah, I've trained people to do things, sales. I've always been a salesperson. I used to train people all the time to make sales over the phone, in person. But this here, and that's why I recognize greatness in coach, because I coach all day long, dude. I'm like, wow, you're good. You're good. There's a lot of us that are professionals that have been in things just as long as coach. And if we're saying the guy is good, come on, he knows he is, and he has taught me. I didn't know jack about this. Look how well he has taught me. Look how well he has taught David. Look how well he's taught Bruno, you, Mark. We can all spit this stuff out, and that's because he's such a great teacher. So I appreciate that. That means he's done well.
Yes,
if
ma'am.
it's coming out of me like that,
Yep.
But I'm stoked about it. I think that was a really good idea. Whoever brought that up, I wish I knew their name. I should have asked it. I should have jumped in and asked it. But I just immediately went to writing on the pad, and oh my God, we got to do that. And I went to go watching the videos about it and everything.
Yeah, it's the same guy you're talking about right now. It's the same guy that wrote this book, Trading in the Zone.
Yep.
But that's that 20 question thing, or that 20 trade thing's not a chapter in here. At least I don't recall it. So.
No, it's not. It's a completely separate exercise.
You need to put the link in the chat later where that video is at.
Yeah. Yep. I will do that. Actually, I can do that now.
Well, you got other people in there who can do that for you.
Is Miranda? Hey, Miranda, you want to do that for me, sweetie? If you can. Just query it on YouTube. It's Mark Douglas's 20 trade exercise. And if you could throw that down in the chat, I'm sure everybody would appreciate that. Thank you so much, honey. I didn't think about it. Miranda's probably already on it, knowing her.
Miranda's on point. She is good.
Yeah, man. Her, Arlo.
Where
do you learn how to do this 2-minute EW? Oh, where do you go for that?
Well, Mark, I'm glad you asked that. Because there's a company called...
Tell me more.
Yeah, let's hear. Where did you learn this?
American Dream Trading. It's the best stock market education unit out there. You know what? Better yet, let the video tell it. Learn to trade. Be on your way to becoming financially free. Go sign up now at AmericanDreamTrading.com, where all our services are easily accessible. And sign up is easy. Simply click the service you want and go. That's it. Shout out to American Dream Trading. That's where we go.
About it. I heard it from somewhere. Yeah.
The link is in the chat as well as the description of this video if you need to get there. Hey, what's going on?
Miranda put the link into that video for you.
Damn, you're fast, girl.
Yes, she is.
Good God Almighty. See, I told you she was probably already working on it.
Probably.
Thank you, Miranda. Bucket. What's going on? What's happening?
Hell yeah.
Another beautiful day. How's everybody doing?
Good. So did you hear what we were talking about?
Oh yeah, I put a 1 down. I'll do it. I mean, I already got 4 under my belt today, so you know.
We just started doing it, Bucket. Start from here.
Okay. No problem. I'll start from whenever you want.
Start at the same starting line as everybody else, Bucket. Overachiever.
No problem. No problem. I love
How'd
Fridays.
you do today?
Those are Evo days. I did good. You know, after yesterday's kerfuffle, all I did, I just committed to do
kerfuffle. I love it.
Apple Evo only.
Okay.
So, just did. So if you look at Apple, you can easily see on the chart it had 1 Evo entry at the start, one about 10:30, one about 11:30. So first one negative, second one a little positive, third one ran to the end of the day. So yeah, ended up got half of yesterday's loss. So yeah, but didn't do anything else, just that.
You're gonna do so well at this because you already do exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, you already track and do, and I hear you because a lot of times I hear what you're saying. Well, okay, well I did 6, and out of the 6, this happened, and then that happened. So you're already bought into this process. How many have you done where you've started tracking it like that with the EWO?
Okay, not days. You want total trades.
Total trades, if you can tell me at least a ballpark.
Okay, in 4 weeks, which is 22 trading days.
Yeah, this is right up your alley.
105 EWOs.
Wow. Okay. Do you know the numbers on them?
76.
That worked out.
76 that were positive. Yes.
Wow, guys.
Nice.
And then
Wait, hold on.
And then plus some you probably had just learning, it may not have worked it the way it should be worked too.
Well,
Absolutely.
That's what I was going to say. That first week I got extremely frustrated, and Lee and Mark were really very helpful in the afternoons because I was only using the EWO bars for entry. It was only until I saw the EWO course that David and both Coach have that I realized, let's look at the EMA cloud, let's look at the VWAP, let's look at what else is going on.
All of those other indicators.
So probably the first 20 of the 100, the first 20 were 50-50s.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So I think if you took out the first week, I would be somewhere along the lines of 80 total trades, 70 positive. Because I got really frustrated with EWO because I did not do what you and everybody else says in the aftermarket, pre-market, and day, which is train, study. I thought when I went back that weekend, and that's when it clicked, you got to look at these 4 things at a minimum, right? And since then, it's been extremely successful. Yeah, you have some of the bad ones, and the reason my EWOs are bad is because that second candle on the EWO may be huge. And so when you you either have to get in or you have to wait for a pullback for that EWO. I make the decision I'm going to get in now because you never know if the next candle is going to be bigger than that one, right?
Right.
And I'm talking candles, not bars. So the second EWO bar, that candle can be huge. So sometimes, yeah, especially on the losers, I find that my entrance on the EWO is the reason because I got high on that high candle, not mid candle, right? So,
Right.
you know, that's just, that's.
Were you
gotta
using the
work
EWO
itself out,
bars or
right?
the
I mean,
candles for entry?
no, I use the EWO bar, right? So let's say the second EWO bar is bigger than the first. And
Okay,
let's say
cool.
we're still in that 2 minute. I will go hit it. But a lot of times, especially early morning, that second EWO bar is a huge green candle, right? I mean, it could literally be huge. So I will enter, but what I don't do is, you know, and I'll put my limit in and it'll click immediately, or it'll wait till the very end and pull back a little bit. And that's when the Weeble gives me my entrance. I don't wait till the third or fourth when there may be a slight pullback. I've never tested that. I get in when it says to get in. And
Yeah,
and I
that's
know
what
that's
you're supposed to
probably
do.
the issue. Yeah. So
That's
hey,
what you're supposed to do.
no. Yeah, it's extremely successful. And if I wasn't an idiot and tried to be a scalper, I would be I'd have a very successful account by now, even though I am still not committed to my account, meaning I am not leveraging my account yet. I'm still playing with, you know, little bits here and there, and I'm only allowing an EWO trade to cost me $1,000 total. And you know, the 20% off that would be 200, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying all trades are 1,000. I'm just saying that's my limit right now, because I'm not going to drain my account on training, because I still think I'm a newbie training, right? So
I think we are
there's
too, all of us.
no reason
Yeah,
to
I'm definitely. Yeah.
budge in my account. Yo, I'd say 80 out of 80, 70, right? About 70. And that's because the
So like
first week and a
90%.
half I was doing it, and that's why anybody in the aftermarket, 7 over 8, 8 into 70, yeah, 87, 86%, something like that. Yeah.
It's not bad. Yeah.
That's
So
damn
anybody
good.
watching
Damn good.
this and anybody in Zoom, make sure before you jump in, Yeah. So I'll be quiet.
Yeah, don't cherry pick. Don't cherry pick, because that's another reason why you want to use a small position size.
Yep.
It
Nope.
makes your buying power last longer to be able to get in more trades. So, and if you play a true EWO out, you're only going to have, Coach has said this before, and I've seen it to be true. If you go back and look at Apple, at like the Big 7 that we do, the Big 12, they only have a couple of EWOs, full drawn out EWOs, where it's all red, all green. And I'm not talking choppy, you know, I'm talking just full, where you probably sat in it for an hour EWO, you know what I mean? From start to finish. And there's only going to be about 3 or 4 of them throughout the course of a day. So there's your 4 or 5 trades in a day right there, if you do those exact EWOs, you know? So if you save yourself buying power by going in smaller, you know, like you could go in with, say you're using $100, right? You could go in with, I don't know, just, and I'm going on the way low end of the totem pole, because that's kind of where I play. Or if you say you've got $200, you could use on that first EWO 3 contracts of 30 or something like that. That way you can shave once you need to shave on the pullbacks and things like that. Same thing for the next EWO. You know, you've got 10 contracts of 10, however the number works out, divide it out so that you can play all day long, you know? So that's another reason to do small position size, so that you can stretch your buying power out longer.
Lost bucket.
Bucket's gone. He gone.
Kick the bucket.
But
Hey,
yeah.
when are we going to get some new blood up here? I'm getting tired of looking at all these old people every day.
I
Ain't
think
nothing but
somebody.
old people up here, except for you, Don. You know, you're young, but
Yeah.
you know.
He didn't mean nothing by it, Dan.
No,
Dan
I agree.
doesn't come up that much.
I totally agree with him. We got to get some new blood up here. Have somebody come up here.
Come on,
Yep.
don't make us come in and crawl out into your computer and drag you up here.
Yep. Come on up here. L&T Motor, how come we never see you? Let's see you up here. You are so awesome. Miguel Lara, I didn't forget. You said you were coming up here. You
What
said you
about
were
Bat
coming up.
Tags? What about Bat Tags? He's always in the pre-market with us in the mornings. Why don't you come up here? You talk all the time pre-market on the Zoom
Yeah,
calls.
yeah.
You're
I like
knowledgeable.
to meet Bubbles.
Bubbles for
Yeah, I would
sure.
too.
TJ too. Yeah, Bubbles for sure.
Not TJ. We don't-
Not
TJ.
TJ.
No, not TJ.
Come on up here, TJ.
Come on, people. Don't be shy.
What about
It only
Brad
goes-
James? He's
It's
down
only
there too.
it's only transmitted worldwide and through the whole universe. So just come on up.
Of course,
Nobody
a day without Nate's not a good day. We got to hear from Nate.
There's Nate.
We got our early morning crew sitting up here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nate?
yeah.
What's
hey,
up, Nate? How
how
you
y'all
doing,
doing?
honey?
Good. How are you, Nate?
I'm doing good.
How'd you do today?
Bad. I end up negative today.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get at it tomorrow morning, but it happens. Yeah, it happens.
Yes, it
It's
does.
all right. I had one of my smallest green days today in a while. So
Right.
not counting
Well-
losing days, but I was green, but
Mhm.
it wasn't worth the money I made. Wasn't worth sitting there for 12 hours.
Yeah. Well, you learn.
It wasn't even
minimum.
minimum. It wasn't even minimum wage.
Right. Yeah.
I tell you what, I didn't do anything that I wanted to do today, profit wise, because AMD was extremely choppy. It chopped my ass up, but it's all good. I'm like Nate. I'm moving on, because
Yeah.
yesterday I made a killing. You cannot make a killing every day. That's just not the business that we're in.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're going to have up days, you're going to have down days. But the thing is, you got to remain steady, just like it says in Disciplined Trader and Trading in the Zone. You can't be like a roller coaster going up and down with your trade. That's the job of the trades, to go
Yeah.
up and down. That's not your job. You have to learn how to stay still when the trades are doing this, because that's the only way you're going to pull profit out of this is if you
Right.
remain still,
Yep.
Yeah.
and don't let it take you out of your emotions.
Right on.
Yeah. I tried to do one more trade around 2:30 today, and I got out too early. I didn't follow my game plan is what happened. I just got out too early, and then time I got out, the stock went exactly where I thought it was gonna go, and it was too late then. So I just shut it down. I said, "The heck with it. I ain't supposed to be trading." Yeah.
I love how you do that. You don't
Yeah.
sit there and keep taking punishment. You get out of it, you walk away from it, you go sit in the park, and you go chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could have sat in it on because I saw the sellers on the sell side. I saw them coming in and I saw them selling, and for some reason I just could not sit there and wait. And time I jumped out, I took a $50 loss. And time I jumped out, it went exactly where that L2 said it was going. And I was like, damn, I cannot believe this. I got out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I think didn't start your day right? That damn 50 shares.
Yeah, that 50 shares
Yeah.
beat my ass.
That 50 shares messed your day up.
Yeah.
It did. It really
Yeah.
did.
But
It
you know
really
what?
did.
I have had situations where I've had thousands of shares and I've had to unload them 1,000 at a time, but not nothing like today. One share at a time.
At a time.
Man, it
Yeah.
cut my ass today. I was like, what
Right.
in the world? Because I was up in that thing, and I was like, by the time I got rid of all them shares, I was down to $175. I said, shit.
Yeah, and you were up over 300 when you went to try to sell them.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So it kind of messed my whole day up.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
That's all right. I followed EWOs and I was doing well, and then I think I did 3 of them. All 3 of them got me on knife drops, took my profits away. And
You was doing.
I had my stop set, I had it set, and and it was getting choppy. So I did actually slide my stop down to break to where I got in. You know, so that way I didn't lose no money. Generally, it won't drop all that way back down. But man, they got me. Bam, bam, bam. All three of them.
You was doing options?
Yeah, I had one I made. You know, I think I ended up with $62 take home pay today.
Okay.
I had 3 trades that I should have had. You know, a couple hundred on each minimum. You know, but this it was a slow grind up, but then it started doing that knife dropping, and it just I didn't move my
Were you
stops,
in AMD at all?
No.
Okay, because that sounds like
with
AMD.
I was in the queues. I wanted to get an Apple.
Oh. Yes.
But I was profit. I was green, but you know, it wasn't. It was minimum. It wasn't even minimum wage money today. But you know, I got to hang out with all you, so you know, money's no object here. You know.
Right. Well, I don't care how much I make. I hate to give a market any money. I really do.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think tomorrow I am going to do pre-market trades stocks if there's anything moving. Hasn't been for the last week or two very well, but
I don't think I'm gonna. I don't think I'm gonna do what I did today. Tomorrow, but I'm gonna.
Well, that was a crazy stock to start with. So
yeah,
but Mark,
not knowing what the float was.
Yeah, but it played out my way until I got ready to get rid of it. If it weren't for that, I would have been, you know, golden. I mean, you know, it would have been a good trade. But
well, the mistake was it didn't list how much free float was on that stock, so you didn't really know, you know.
Yeah.
It obviously was very low.
That it was very, very low float, you might not have even gotten in that.
Well, I would have got in it. I think we just didn't have hardly no information on it. And I very seldom get into stocks when I don't have no information.
Yeah.
But I thought I was going to be comfortable with it. I saw the movement, and I said, you know what, this thing going to move. I'm going to ride it up. And it did go up, but I just couldn't dump it. I couldn't get it out. So it just messed with me all day today. That's amazing how one stock will throw your whole damn day off.
You let it. You shouldn't let other people or other things control your emotions.
Yeah.
Stop letting it get you.
You're the driver.
Because here's the thing, Nate, and you already know this better than any of us. Losing trades are a part of this game.
Yeah.
So if you don't stop letting that beat you up, you know, that's going to be a problem for you, man. Just let it go.
Yeah.
You know?
It beat me up.
Let it go.
Hey, Nate.
Hey, Mark.
Steve H asked in the chat, did Nate do any option trading today?
No.
There you go. There you go, Steve H.
Yeah.
Which was smart because he wasn't in a zone for it.
Yeah.
Because then that just would have made the day even worse.
Yeah, I was not. That was not on my thought waves today. So you know, but we'll keep on. We'll keep at it. We'll hopefully something will come out tomorrow, and you know, I'm gonna like I said, I'm gonna trade small again tomorrow, and I'm just gonna have to be careful about what I get in. That's just all to it. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
We'll be picky.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Well, the other thing too, the market might be calming down a little bit now that all the big boys have reported their earnings in finance and tech and oil and all that this week. So there was a lot of uncertainty how things were going to play out. So Apple just reported theirs, and it went down off the cliff, and now it's coming back up. So.
Yeah, and then right there before 8 o'clock, it seemed like all the volume just got sucked out of the market. It just went dead. Yeah. I mean, you know, it's just crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. Wow.
It seems like the last couple of weeks have been really crazy with the volume, especially at that around the 8 o'clock hour.
Yeah, it has, and it's been more than that. It's been actually the last 2 months. It's been like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know,
it seems like 7 to 7:30 is about the cutoff here lately.
Yeah. That volume starts coming in around 7 and around 7:30. If you ain't done made your move by 7:30, quarter to 8, seems like it just dies right after that.
Yeah. Time to take a break and go eat breakfast or something.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
And that's the thing. You know, once you up, you got to respect that you up and just call it a day. Whatever you got to do to quit trading, you need to quit trading and call it a day. But I love it so much. I just keep on trading till shit. I just drive myself into a damn hole. So
It's
but
addictive.
I
Dedication
don't.
and focus. Yeah.
When I say losses, I don't mean big losses. I mean, I was down $200 and some today, but it still it messes with me as though if I'm down $1,000. It still messes with me. But
Yeah, it'll
it is
do
what
that.
it is. Yeah.
It'll do
Tomorrow's
that.
a new day and a new trade.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll find something in the morning and make it do what it do. Yeah. I heard y'all saying y'all gonna do that challenge. Y'all gonna start that tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Might as well start right away.
Yeah.
20 trades, not looking for profit, just
Right.
looking for to get the process of the EWO down,
Right.
and making sure everybody gets in the way that they're supposed to get in, and that they ride it out, use a small position size so that they can ride it out to the end, and do an honest EWO for 20 trades.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure people will get the gist of how it works, and they'll come out profitable, and then they can start to up it.
Well, the thing about it, they just got to remember to get it, to really learn it. You're gonna have to trade small. Because if you try to do like me or somebody else in there that can afford to take the loss, it's gonna aggravate you, and you're gonna get off your game plan. So you're gonna need to trade small. Yeah, that's the only way you're gonna be able to do it.
Holy cow! There's Bubbles.
There she
Bubbles!
is. Hey.
Oh, y'all got a new one in here. All right.
Yeah,
What's
right.
going on, Bubbles?
She's always
Okay,
in the
how do I
chat.
hear
She
you?
talks.
Wow.
Hi, honey. We hear you.
Okay, good.
Yep.
How you doing?
Howdy, Bubbles.
Well, my heart's beating kind of fast right now, but
Wow.
I'm good.
You're among
Nervous?
friends.
Yeah, nervous.
Okay.
I had a great day today, so I had to come on.
Good.
Okay.
Let's give you
Hear
the bell.
about
What did you trade?
So up until like last week, I wasn't really doing options. Okay, so
Okay.
I jumped in because Dawn made that thing for Apple. We were supposed to be doing Apple all this week and report back. So I tried Apple a couple of times this week. It wasn't great, but it was okay. Just paper.
Why wasn't it okay, Bubbles?
Just on paper. Well, because I'm still uncertain about where exactly this strike price is that I'm supposed to be choosing. And then I'm trying to figure out how, if I go into November, like the end of November versus February on some things, how much different I get paid. So I'm doing that all in paper so that I can figure it out.
Okay.
That's the safest thing. Doesn't cost you money when you make a mistake.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So you're trying to figure out going in with like maybe weekly strategies versus long term, or like a leap type of thing? No, well, not a leap, but just going out 90 days, how it's going to pay you?
I had I started with a $500 in my account, and I'm up to about $1,200 right now. And I'm just trying.
Okay, let's not breeze over that. You made $700. Apparently, you're doing pretty good.
But everything I want to try that all the crazy ideas y'all come up with, I immediately flip over to my paper and do it there and try to figure out if it works, if I can afford it. Because that's been my problem, is keeping cash available too. So for small accounts, trying to figure out, I have $300 I can use a day. $300 I can use a day. And then,
Dawn, she's doing better than me.
Yeah.
She's doing better than a lot of us.
Yeah.
Sure is.
Yeah.
Well, I've been here a really, really long time just listening. So
how long?
Since August of 2022.
What?
Really? You've put a year in?
Yeah. I listened for a good
Wow.
because I had therapy and a whole bunch of stuff for my foot, and
I
so
remember, yeah.
yeah, I listened and just kept listening every day, and when you do that, a lot of the things
Stick.
yeah. And so then I got onto the paper and started that and thought, okay, I can do this. And then I started to make, like, just with the hot stock picks, because that's all I was doing at the time. I started to make a good, $50 a day, $100 a day.
Wow, look at that.
And then, something happened and I needed to take all that money that I was making and I had to start over. Right. So, at the same time, I got my son, who's 17 at the time, and he started to just kind of hot stock picks and listening. Well, now that, I started on the options, he's trying to figure, he's sitting here going,
Yeah, well, that's cool.
Yeah.
what are you doing over there?
Let me ask you a question. Do you ever come in the mornings? Were you in there on the
I'm there.
pre-market? I thought I saw you.
Yeah, I've been there for a couple of months in the morning.
Have you been using the L2 like Nate's been showing us how to do?
Oh, yeah.
Mark?
Yeah. So what I was going to say about everything that happened today was that the L2 is simple if you learn it, like Nate. It's very simple. And if you do the EWO, it's very simple. And if you do the things, that you hear every day, they're simple. But when you sit here in the classes, sometimes in the afternoon, those people will beat it to death. And it does sort of sound like Charlie Brown's teacher in my head after a little while.
Yeah, you have to learn how to. Well, sometimes y'all, we almost have to mute ourselves to learn. So if it helps you to mute, that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
Look at that. I never seen a pink cat.
You haven't either. Wow.
Pink cat.
Pink.
She's got a pink cat.
Very nice.
Oh, that's American Dream pink cat?
Yeah, pink cat.
Is it? Oh, look at that.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That's cute. Wear it, girl.
Good.
Wear it.
Don't matter.
Who cares? It's cool.
After I make my first $1 million, I'll buy my wife one.
Well, that'll be next week.
I need a pink sweatshirt.
Mark, that'll be next week.
You heard that, Coach.
In advance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to have you on here, hear your experiences. That's what we need. Here, people can hear what your experience is like. They get tired of listening to us all the time.
Yeah.
Bubbles, I'm so glad you came up here.
I am too. I feel like y'all are family. I hear y'all every day, and my dogs know your voices. They know, in the mornings and stuff. When they hear your dog, they're like, "Ooh."
Yeah.
So yeah, I have you on on everything.
That's why I bring my dogs down here in the basement with me. I mean, they stand there and wait for me to pick them up, bring them down the steps because they're older dogs, are 14, and they stay down here all day with me. Except when it's time to eat, then they stand there and stare at me. I call them my stock dogs.
We got a Jade Lee Tech, but I don't see a camera on. So Jade Lee Tech, if you can hear me, I'm gonna need you to turn your camera on. Nate's got a pass from Coach. That's why his camera's not on. He's one of our millionaires. So for obvious reasons, he chooses to remain anonymous. But everybody else, we gotta see your bright, shining face.
Even though I'm not.
Is that Dawn?
Dawn, even though I'm not.
What? Anonymous?
Yeah.
We know you.
Yeah.
But everybody don't know you.
Look at all the positive comments in the chat bubbles about you. Everybody's saying how nice it is to see you up here talking.
Yay!
It wasn't that hard, was it?
Well,
now,
I never. I never did it before. I've never used my iPad or my camera, FaceTime my granddaughter. That's
You've
about
broken your panel cherry with us. How
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
blessed.
it. Yeah.
Now the
Listen,
rest of you need to get up here.
I'm going to try to show y'all this. So, in the morning, I try to mod over there on the channel.
Yes.
And so, look at this. I don't know if y'all could see this. Can you see all the coach CWCs?
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Oh, wow.
See, I
Look
never
at
get
'em.
requests.
Look at
Oh, those are the ones you took out today.
Wow.
That's a
I
lot of
don't
them.
get.
That's
I
a
don't
lot.
get them. I don't get
Well,
them.
they-
Y'all must be
I-
special because I don't get that
Well,
stuff.
Well, she's a mod on TikTok or YouTube.
Yeah, TikTok.
TikTok,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Well, I see
Just
Coach
one
changed his
channel.
name last night, his
Yeah.
username, and they've already got it. They're already scamming with that.
What,
with
the
that new
AD
name.
coach, ADT coach?
ADT coach, yeah.
Wow.
Somebody
Wow.
posted one on there already. Somebody's already bam, just like that.
I asked TikTok, I asked a creator person who was with TikTok people, how do you get those people off of there? And they told me that, you're allowed to repost people's things on TikTok. You're allowed to do that. But what you can't do is talk to people. So if you're having conversations with people, then that is, something that they will, you can report. And when you go to report the conversations, it automatically clicks on those conversations so they can see that they're impersonating coach. And that's when they'll kick them off. So when y'all say block them, I block them off of the channel. Yeah, but I pick them up on another TikTok that I have and get them to talk to me, and then I get them kicked off.
Oh, nice. Nice work.
You set them up.
Cybersecurity.
That's entrapment, Bubbles.
Very
good
good.
job. Good work.
A lot
That's
of
never
technicals
ending.
on here.
Yeah.
You got a lot of technical people on here. Okay.
Well, we see JT there. There we go. Come on, there's another one. How's it going, JD? Can't hear you, JD. See your lips moving, but we can't hear you.
How about now?
There you go.
Yep. There you go.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was in my office and I was getting some stuff taken care of, and I couldn't answer right away. I was just trying to log in and come in here for the first time and say hello.
All right.
Good.
Well, thank you for doing that. We appreciate you coming up here. Did you trade today?
No, far from it. I don't plan on trading for another month or two at least. I'm brand new. I started Friday.
Good deal. Just training right now. Okay.
Oh yeah. So I get up. I'm on the West Coast, so I get up at 3 a.m. and I try to jump in with you guys and just listen. And then I listen for 2 hours. I go to work and I continue on listening to the stream. And I'm a mechanic. I just came in, so I'm all dirty.
I come from a family of them.
Yeah, and so like I come back home. I come in and I study a little bit more, and I don't plan on even looking at a trading website until I get a deep understanding of what you guys are talking about and understand the verbiage.
Good
That's how
idea.
it should be done. If we
Yep.
all would have just done that, you're
Yeah,
already
yeah,
further
yeah.
ahead. You're already further ahead than probably 80% of us.
Let's see. Ralph had a half of Ralph head down there.
Yep. What's going on,
Hey,
Nate?
Ralph.
Hey, Ralph.
Hey, what's going on? Hey, listen.
How
I
you
want to
doing,
clear
bro?
something up. I'm kind of like, I just want to be clear, all right? Because we're not going to just gloss over this. We ain't trying to sell Lambos and everything. It's going to take you more than 20 trades to get trading together, okay? Like, you're not just going to do 20 trades and just learn no any strategy, all right? The 20 thing that's misconstrued, listen, I'm Mark Douglas' biggest fan, all right? That's from flipping coins. If you flip a coin 20 times, you can just count heads or tails, write it down. And you can do that about 10 times, and ever how many times it come up, you
Okay, so what we're gonna do now is
I just realized what you did.
Wow.
no, we're not even going there. Okay. We're not even going there.
Bubbles, who's that with you, Bubbles?
Oh, that
Listen,
is the
put a
mini
one in
me
the chat if
granddaughter
you
I'm
done
always
did more
talking
than
about.
20. Listen, put a 1 in the chat if you done did more than 20 Evo trades. All right.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, here's the thing.
Listen, I
Okay.
don't want to gloss
No,
over it because listen, I take trading way more serious. I
Ralph, you
do.
will be put in the waiting room, bro. Okay, let me get this out. Okay,
Go ahead.
here's the
Go ahead,
situation.
friend.
Here's the situation.
Go
We
ahead.
know that. Okay, nobody's saying that you're
Yes,
gonna
but it's
get everything
misleading.
that you need to know in
It's
all the.
this.
It's not misleading. Then you
Yes,
don't
it
believe in
is.
Mark Douglas's strategy because that's who it is. It's not
That's not
mine.
Mark
It's
Douglas' strategy.
his.
That's
What are you
that
talking
ain't.
about? Go look on
I
YouTube
don't
and
know
look
what
it
that
up.
is. Listen, I don't know what
Mark,
that is.
you look, you got me
All right.
calling you Mark. Stop being
I don't know what that.
crazy. Go out on
I'm not
YouTube and
crazy.
look it up. Mark Douglas has a strategy called the 20
Listen,
trade
moving along. If you
exercise.
want to get
No, we're
confident, if
not
you want to
moving
get confident
along.
in your trading,
Mark
you
Douglas
need.
has a strategy. What first in the Zoom call now
Listen,
here.
I
We're
know
not gonna
Mark
do this.
Douglas. I know who
You
Mark
don't,
Douglas is.
apparently.
I
Apparently you
do. I
don't.
do know who he is.
No,
All
you
right,
don't,
friend.
because that's
Moving
his
along.
strategy.
I know who I
No,
do
we're
know.
not moving
Listen,
along.
Chad. I know Chad Christian. All
Anyway, you
right.
guys heard me, right?
I know.
That's what we're doing. Don't pay no attention to
Listen.
what Ralph's talking about right now. We're doing
Okay,
the
I know
challenge.
Chad
Period.
Christian
You
from
don't
the
want to do it, you
ADT.
don't do it. But we're doing it.
All right. Okay. All
Thank
right.
you.
All right.
Let it go.
Move along.
Let it go.
Move along.
Let it
Because
go.
listen, Chad
Let
will
it
let you
go.
know
Because
right
you're
now.
wrong. You loud and
Listen,
wrong.
I
So let it
watched a
go.
lot of Brady Bunch. It never went like this.
Okay.
Here's the
Okay.
story
Of an
of a
evil
man named
trader
Brady. Of a
that
man
didn't
named
have
Brady.
no confidence. That's what you talking about?
Right.
I'm telling you. I'm just saying.
What you trade? What did you trade today, Ralph?
Pound. And guess what else I traded? Yen. Guess
What?
what? I got in on the Evo, fell asleep. Green trade. All right. Green trade. Okay. Why? Because I do the Evo more than 20 times. All right. It's going to take you
Let
to
it
get it.
go.
You can't
You
cherry
had to
pick
go
them.
there.
You got to get it. Yes, I'm going there because you're making it sound too easy. Trading is not that easy, friend. It might be easy for
Nobody
you, but
said
it's
it was
not
easy,
easy for
Ralph.
others.
Nobody said it was
Listen,
easy.
I don't want people to think that they can just do this 20 times and come in and make money like Nate.
You are totally you talking about misconstrued. You're
Hold on.
misconstruing the
Can I jump
idea of
in?
what's supposed to be happening.
May,
Yes.
may I jump in?
Go
May I
ahead.
jump
Go
in?
ahead.
I'm completely brand new, and I was listening to the stream as I was coming back from work. So I kind of understand what you guys are talking about. I'm completely new, and my understanding is it's 20 trades so that you can get your feet wet and start to understand the mechanics of this EWOW system.
Thank you.
There you go. Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Does that make sense?
That's all we're doing. We're not doing it for profit or any
No,
other
y'all said
reason.
confidence.
Mechanics
Y'all said
and
confidence.
getting it down.
Okay,
Huh?
y'all need to clarify that,
It,
man.
build,
Y'all said
it
confidence.
will build
No.
confidence. It will build
Ralph,
confidence.
Ralph, I'm gonna do 21 just so I can get mine.
Okay, Nate, how many times did it take you to get that L2 strategy down that you're doing? It is not the Evo. It's any strategy. It's not the Evo. It's not
Correct.
just the Evo. I want to be clear with that. It's any strategy. Like, you got to stick with anything you're trying to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to gloss
Well,
over
we're
it. Some stuff
focusing
are
on the
easy.
EWO because I want to narrow it down because people are complaining that they can't get the EWO right. So
Right.
we want to make it as simple as possible by focusing in on one thing at a time to do that with. And we're going to do that with the EWO.
Okay.
That's the one that needs the work. You know, it really does need to be worked.
It's the back.
To me how it works.
The backbone.
The backbone.
Yes, Mark.
It's the backbone of ADT trading.
So now explain to me how it works.
Well, the way that it's supposed to work is we will do.
No, not
you
how
saw
it's
we were listening
supposed
to
to,
Coach's
friend.
video.
How it works. You know how it
Look,
works.
seriously, me and you gonna become unbenefited.
You know how it works, man. Come on. I don't want to just supposed to.
I'm about to take him out, y'all. I'm not gonna let him back in this time.
Go, Don, go. Go, Don, go. Go, Don, go.
You got one more time to cut me off, okay? And you will not be back in here. You will be chatting it up, okay? Like Bruno, you're gonna be doing this. So 20 times is supposed to emulate what David did when he did his 87 initial trades. All I want people to do is do 20 straight EWO trades the exact way that Coach did it in that video, making sure that if they're getting in a call, that they're above VWAP, they're above the 2155 and above the MA200, and that second candle that they get in on is bigger than the first candle. That's all I want people to do that 20 times exactly like that in a row. And if it's a put, then obviously it should be below VWAP, below the MA200, below 2155, and second candle to the downside. And the trend should be moving downward as the trend should be moving upward for the up. I just want people to do that. Wait for, if you don't see that setup, don't get in it. Period. Make it that simple for yourself. If you don't see, because yeah, you can get in an EWO where, okay, it's above the 2155, but it's not yet above the 200. I'm not getting in. Yeah, no, don't. Wait until all of those and understand. I understand, but remember, we're not in this for profit. Just these 20. So I don't care that, hey, well, I'm losing out. Get rid of the FOMO. That's another thing this will train you to do. Get the hell rid of the FOMO. If you have not passed the 2155 and the MA200, which may take a little while, and VWAP, don't get in a call, period. We want to make sure these trades go the way they're supposed to go. And if you get in properly, I want you to see that 90% of them will work out. And that's the only way that's going to happen is if you learn how to be very, very, very meticulous with your indicators and your trading. And don't forget to learn support and resistance. Okay, because just because you're getting in then doesn't now mean that there's a critical level waiting for you to reverse. So get to know your critical levels as well. Who came in? Somebody else came in.
Like JD had a question.
Yeah, I have a question.
What's your question, honey?
Okay, so like I said, I'm completely brand new. So you're saying wait for the 55, the 21, and the
MA200. Now, when I say 2155, that's the EMA.
Okay, yeah. And then also waiting for the
VWAP.
The VWAP.
It needs to be above VWAP, and it needs to be in whatever your direction is. The trend needs to be going that way overall.
Correct. And then I'm also seeing. Give me 1 second. So, and then obviously, like you stated earlier, you have to make sure you have your trend line set and to make sure you're keeping an eye on that, right?
Yep.
Yes. So here's what I'm going to do. Yep. I'm going to go ahead and play Coach's video another time for those that may have missed it. This is where he explained the 5-star trade guide.
Rely on the EWO, which is this one, right? So we get the pop, it runs up. Here's your crossover. See it? Which is also right here. It already told you would have got in somewhere up here. You would have had this confirmation looking good. It's also below VWAP. Isn't that a sign of strength as well? If you're buying a put below VWAP, isn't that a good sign of strength?
Yes, sir.
And then it continues to drive down and it goes below the 200 moving average. Isn't that also a sign of strength?
Yes, sir.
That means you've now entered at a 2-minute EWO, VWAP, the 200, the super trend, the trend,
and the crossover.
And now, and now the crossover. Look at every one of those. As it ran, you entered on the 2-minute. It broke the VWAP. It broke 200. You entered on the super trend. See it here? The overall trend is now to the downside. You entered it off of this. Right? Down here, you're showing more of a trend, but you get the example. And then there's your crossover. This is now 6 stars trade. See it? Those are all signs of strength.
Yeah, because there are times the EWO will signal to get in, and it could be below VWAP. Or if it's a put, it could be above VWAP. So it's not saying the EWO won't work if it's below VWAP, because it does. But to make it a 5 or 6 star trade, which is more certainty with a more conservative approach, you wait for that, all those indicators, and your odds of success are greatly increased.
Right.
Your chance of success.
Right. Which means you have to maybe miss out on a few trades if those things aren't there.
Well, you may have to miss out on a few dollars until it gets up to VWAP sometime.
But we don't care about dollars right now.
Well, no, I mean, we don't want to lose, but, you know, to make it a 5 or 6 star trade to where you're not freaking out, wait on it. Not every one of them is a 5 star trade.
That's right. But you want 25 star trades.
Yeah. I was in an EWO today that was everything was in the queues, and Apple and Microsoft, they were all going up. They were on an upward trend. I think Apple was one of them. It was either Microsoft or Apple had not reached VWAP, but the other ones were on an upward, and so I went ahead and played the EWO, even though it was the Q's EWO was below VWAP, and it was a successful trade. Now, had I waited, it would have been a more stronger trade.
Right.
Because if it is below VWAP, it could switch on you. That's why you want to wait. If you get all those indicators, you're going to have a strong trade. If you kind of discount some of them, then you got to watch what you're doing. So,
absolutely, Mark.
And Mark, I think that's where
Bruno.
the EMA cloud comes in.
Yeah,
because
it's invaluable.
One thing I don't. Just because we get green EWO bars from red doesn't mean it's time to jump into an EWO. Look at the trend for the day. If it is significantly down, this could just be a breathe back for 5 or 6 candles. So you need to understand everything about the EWO before you jump into the EWO, right?
What's a coach say? Trend is your friend.
That's right. Yeah. So, I mean, if you jump into an EWO and that was my problem the first week, I just looked at the green bars. Well, no, there's about 5 or 6 other things that both Don and you have stated. Check them off. And if they don't reach all 6, then potentially maybe go into that EWO if you want to get into it lighter and add to it as the confirmation comes, right? Mm-hmm. So, if it's just above VWAP, and it's going down and it looks like a nice put, maybe only go in with 1 or 2 contracts. And then when you get confirmation below VWAP, add another 1 or 2 like you did yesterday, Don, on your AMD, right? I mean, you don't just look at the green bars and go, oh, this is an EWO and go. That was my fault and my problem the first week of trading. I was just focusing on the EWO bars. Look at everything else, and that'll really help you out.
Well, we got a resident pilot. We got a resident pilot joined us. What does a resident pilot have to do when he gets in his plane before he takes off? What's on his clipboard? What do you got to do, Bruno, before you can take off? Bruno, what do you look at?
Say it again.
I said before.
I'm spaced now.
I said,
I'm spacing out.
When a pilot gets ready to go fly his plane, before he takes off, what do you got to go through on your
pre-flight
before your
pre-flight checklist?
There you go. It's the same way with trade. You got to do a pre-buy checklist before you go in, and the more of those you have, you can go. If not, you got to ground your plane. That's simple. So, more you look at, the more you could do a 4-star trade, but you're
okay. So the link to the video, that I've been playing, I just put in the chat for everybody.
Cool.
Yeah. So that way you can watch the whole video through. It's and if you want to query it, it's just look up on YouTube American Dream Trading 5-star trade. That's how popular that shit is. All you got to do is type in American Dream Trading 5-star trade, and that video comes up.
Yep.
Bruno, how'd you do today, moderator extraordinaire?
Double digits.
Wow.
Nice.
Good.
Percentage.
Sweet.
Good.
Well, A&D chopped my ass up.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah, it did.
Money says you try to get that call.
I was in 2 AMD calls and 2 AMD puts on 4 separate occasions.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was green on a couple of them, but then I let them go red, thinking that, you know what I mean? It would reverse.
Never let a green trade go red.
Yep. I didn't want to say it, but because I know the rule. You don't let a green trade go red. I know it, you know? And, some days I follow the rules and some days I'm a little bit hard-headed because I'm thinking I know better, but it always ends up proving me wrong, Always ends up proving me wrong. Coach's rules are always right. So I'm admitting it. I'm defeated. But But
So what you think
yeah,
you did wrong? What you think?
stayed in it too long when I was green. I mean, the very first trade when it was going up, I was up $150. You know what I mean? And I listened to Bruno. He said something today, and I'm so glad that I was paying attention when he said it, because I'm going to make sure I do that from here on out. He was explaining to somebody. They were like, how do I know when to get out? Remember that guy you were talking to, Bruno? This afternoon. How do I know? You
I
probably talked
heard
to a
that.
gazillion. Yeah, it's like, how do I know when to get out? I don't have a problem getting in, but how do I get out? Bruno was like, okay, I see this. And he went through the AMD, or it was one of the trades. And on that third red candle, when it was consolidating, he said, see here, but then it went green. But then see that third candle? Here's where I'm starting to make my exit. I'm like, okay. Because I'm like holding on to the shit, not all the way down. I'm not stupid, but a little bit too long. And I'm
But
like,
you
okay,
know,
because I'm like, where in there should I get out? That third candle, that's a good benchmark. That's a good
but listen,
benchmark.
if you ain't good as Goon, if you ain't good as Bruno for like noticing that, one of the best things to do is just put in the stop and drag it up. That way you don't have to worry about, am I getting out at the wrong time? You know, you have a mechanical way. I mean, you're not
Well,
gonna get the whole, you know what I'm saying? But whenever
Yeah,
well,
I
you
what?
come
do.
back up,
But I get what
yeah.
he's saying. I think I have enough in there to understand, because when I looked at it when he did it, I said, okay, that makes perfect sense, because I've
Mm-hmm.
thought about that before and thought, well, you know what, maybe it's going to go up. No. If it did that first red candle and then it's got the green, okay, cool, it might go back. Oh shit, another red one.
And then
Get out of
bam.
there.
You
Yeah.
Get
almost
out of there, because that means it's getting ready to make a move. And if you
Mm-hmm.
don't want to be in it, get out. Stop freaking holding on to it. It's like when that second red candle came in there, I should have been out. That let me know, listen, some shit's getting ready to go down.
you
Okay, stop
almost see
holding
the
on.
bend. You see it. You see it
And I'm
kind of.
waiting for the bend. And by that time, my ass is getting chopped.
Shit.
My profits have like really are getting ate up. You know what I mean? So
Well, the other thing is if VWAP is close to where that's at the moment, there's a bigger chance of it breaking and falling below VWAP. Now, if you get some of them trades that go straight to the moon and you're 100 miles away above VWAP, you can stomach more of that up and down.
right.
But if it's just kind of an average climbing day, stair stepping day, and your VWAP line is closer, generally if it breaks VWAP, it's going to go down for sure, generally,
Yeah.
right? Or
Yep.
bounce back up. So, the closer you are to VWAP, the more nervous you tend to get. So, but on them days where everything goes to the moon, you could stomach a little bit more of that consolidation and stuff. Gives you a little bit more
Yeah.
breathing room. But when you're
And I
close
meant to
like
say
that,
shed.
the example that he showed, it wasn't real. It was in the neighborhood anyway. So yeah, you would be nervous. That was a good play.
Yeah. But
Good
at least
observation.
shed, don't necessarily get all the way out, because and at no
Yeah.
time did I just have one contract. So I didn't have to get all the way out, but I could have
Yeah.
at least shed when I saw the second, or third red
Mhm.
candle come in there,
Mhm.
And especially if you got a red candle, then you got a green candle, then you got another red candle and not another green candle, meaning, hey, we're gonna go ahead and continue upward. No. I think I want to go red now, is what that should be saying to me.
Yeah.
So, and to
Yeah.
everybody else, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
Right.
okay. Yeah, you got 2, 3 green candles. Yeah. And I'm trying to be diamond hands, and it's like, you know what I'm saying? No, take some profit. Take some profit.
Some trades you can't ride for an hour. Some trades are only going to
Nope.
last you a couple of minutes.
You're
Things will
absolutely
change on
right.
you.
Yeah,
Absolutely right.
and what we want to do is we want to get to the point where if you have the time to sit in front of the computer, AMD prime example on that put, when you get so far up in the green that you could set a stop, and not that you're walking away from it, but you could just sit back, relax, and exactly 11:06, I would say 11:12, AMD started to kind of retrace a little bit, and then it fell back down, then came up a little bit, then fell below VWAP, to the point where it's like once you got your stop in, you're green no matter what this thing does. like you're just sitting back and watching, and if it makes a move even further down, then you just tighten up the stop. Not tighten it to the point where you can't get any squeeze any more out of it, but you could kind of just slide it up a little bit more. Now you got more space, slide it up. And then you saw me. I was helping people in the Zoom, and then I got stopped out for a green win. It's like, okay. That's where you want to get to. It's not only the 40 to 50 bucks, but you want to get to the point where when you let it go and you have the space and the time, you could just set your stop. I can hear it in David's voice every single day. I don't hear him, stressing out about trades. Why? Because he's probably so far up. He just keeps his stop at a certain distance and lets Apple do its thing.
Yeah.
So.
What you do today, Future Trader?
Hey, Future Trader, what's up, honey?
Good. How about you guys? Good. Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, we got
today. I wasn't around. I had to work. I didn't get a chance to hit the market today. I missed all the action.
Well, at least you're in here with us tonight, getting to hear our stories.
Oh yeah, that's cool. It's awesome.
We got Bubbles with us tonight, and JD.
I learned just by listening.
Yeah, man.
What's that, Mark?
I said we got the infamous Bubbles with us, and JD.
Oh, nice.
Got some newbies on here.
Yeah.
I
Awesome.
thought Bubbles was a guy.
No,
he is not. Like, I don't know I just saw the name. Like Bubbles, that could be a guy.
She does a lot of work behind the scenes.
Yeah, she does. She does. She does.
I gotta go though, but I'm gonna keep listening to y'all. But I did want to come say hi and tell Ted I said thanks for Elf today.
Elf, you made some money on Elf?
I mean, everybody who's got paper accounts ought to buy some contracts, some calls in that tonight, and just watch it tomorrow, because I'm telling you, I think it was at 585 the contracts today, and then they went up. I think they started at 7 something and they went up to 11.
Yeah.
And I had 10 contracts in real life and 100 on my paper, and I think my P&L for the day on my paper account was like 50 grand.
Woo!
Wow.
It was insane. Yeah.
So Elf had earnings. They had earnings. That's what the reason why they was.
Yeah, it was yesterday, wasn't it? Was it yesterday?
But it was like it
was yesterday, because Ted
floated up and floated down. I think it's back down right now, but it'll go back up in the morning.
So look, all right. After such a strong move, and now this don't always happen. Sometimes they just run and go straight up. But after a strong move like that, you can expect like sideways action. You know what I'm saying? Because people are gonna be taking profits.
Well, that was the thing, though. We did the lines. Somebody had already done them, and the stock can go really a lot higher. It was like 15, I think. The contracts were 15 the other day. They were only 7 when I got them.
Wow.
Dude, I did straight up call AMD this morning, though, didn't I, Bruno?
What they say, they answer.
I did, dude. I said, remember I was in the pre-market with you guys, and I said, looks like AMD is going to go down to 107. You guys remember me saying that?
AMD.
That's probably after I joined.
Yeah, I typed it to you, though. I typed everything out and sent you screenshots and everything. I said, look, AMD is going to drop at the bell and go down to 107, and it did that. And I said, and after that, it's probably going to climb up to where you said, which is 110.50, right?
I could have sworn you was good, though.
That's
you
me
was put
too,
something
Ralph.
over the day.
And it did it. It followed it to a T. It dropped, which I should have been on that put, but I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it. Because I missed it too late. I got in too late, and it was damn near at 107. Got to 107 and straight bounced. Because there was 10,000 buyers waiting to buy it at 107. And it had been kind of going up and up and up. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that sucker's dropping to 107. And it did. Shot up. And it got to like 109. Or no, what was that? 108. And I'm like, yeah, $150.
You need to let it get away.
But okay, it's coming back up, right? It's coming back up, right?
Let me see what it, let
I'm
me see what
tired
it
of doing
did.
that to myself, man. So
Because
yeah,
the
third
support was
candle,
around,
Bruno,
or the
be in
support
there.
was right
Oh.
at 107.
Where the heck- okay, there it is.
That's why
Yeah.
I'm like, it's gonna be support right up on the 7. Did it go lower than 107?
No, I don't
I
think it
didn't
did.
watch
I
it
think
after
it.
11
No,
o'clock.
I don't think it got low. Yeah, it did. It got down
106.
into the
One
106s
dip.
at one
Okay,
point.
so
Yeah,
yeah. All right, so my support
yeah.
was right. It
But
didn't
I
go
was in
no.
a put at that point. I was
Yeah,
chasing
that's
that.
what I'm saying.
I was chasing it. I'm like,
I
I'm gonna
said,
get you
damn.
today. I'm like,
Bye,
okay,
Bubbles.
puts. You
Make
want to
sure
do
you come
puts?
back later.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be a stranger, Bubbles. I'm like, okay, you want to do puts? Let's do puts. Okay, I get it. All right, puts. Okay, all right. I'm down a little bit. Okay, now I'm positive. I think I talked to Bruno at that point. He's like, be careful, and I heard him say,
Yeah.
if you guys are in calls, don't, you might want to be careful. I'm like, yeah, no. Puts, baby. Okay, ride the
Hey,
puts
AMD
down.
was a tough one to trade today, friend. I'm sorry.
It
It was tough.
was. Somebody was
tough.
keeping it down. If you watched the candles, every time they got momentum, boom, here comes that top wick. And I mean, it just kept getting shoved down. I said, obviously, somebody wants AMD to be down today. Get
So let
with
me
the
show you.
program, Dawn. Getting some puts, okay?
After
The calls
the
ain't happening.
drop, after the
What
drop that you
time?
talking
What time
about.
was? What time was that at? I didn't catch any of that.
What time wasn't it?
What
Yeah.
you mean? What time was it?
Like, can you give me a good example so I can see what you're saying, so I
Sure,
can try to
let me
understand?
look it up.
Who am I talking
sweetie.
to? Oh, that's the
Pull
new
it
trainer.
up. Pull it up on the screen.
Okay.
Yeah,
That
so I can
AMD looks
explain
like
to you.
You want to share your
It
screen,
was
Bruno?
tough.
That's always the easiest for me.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
that
because
thing
he's
looks
an
like a
AMD
heartbeat.
expert. That thing was tough.
Oh,
You
they
know
all
why?
Yeah, man.
all
Because
stocks
the
were
VWAP
choppy
line
today.
was showing straight horizontal. That's
Chewed
sideways
my
market.
ass up.
There we go.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Okay, so look, that drop right there, profit taken again, and then that push up right there, it ain't gonna no higher than that right there.
Oh yeah.
It ain't gonna no higher than that. None of the day.
Bruno,
But
show them the candle
whenever
I
I
was
was
talking about,
looking
what
at
you
it,
said with that guy. Right up
This
at the
one?
top up there. Nope. Go up the
no, it was
yeah,
up
go
there.
over
Yeah, that's
maybe
it.
one candle,
Yeah.
one like the third red. Yeah. You told the guy this is where you want to when I saw this third red one, it's time to get out. That's what I need to start doing and stop riding that shit down the hill. Get out right there.
Yeah, if anything, Dawn, I mean this one did it for me. These three in sync together.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then let
So
me tell you
yeah.
what
That engulfing
finish
pattern
Bruno
right there. Yeah.
Is that the 1 minute, 2 minute?
this is on a 2 minute, but I had the line. Say this is the line that was drawn. It's hanging out at this line.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden on my other chart, I think I had another line right above it. Wasn't breaking through it. And then all of a
What
sudden,
time was that at?
it just dropped. And then
this
look at the EWO.
10:50.
Oh, go ahead.
Hey Bruno.
Okay.
And I got in that at 10
look
o'clock. I
at the
got in
EWO.
on the bottom of that too. So I had all that.
Look at that.
Look at the
Look at that
curve.
right there.
Yeah,
Hey,
the
Bruno, was
EWO
you-
is rolling downhill.
Yep.
Yep.
Was you doing?
That's what I be looking at every time. Like I see that EWO getting smaller, it's dropping for real. I'm telling you, that EWO don't lie. I use it more. Listen, if I had to have anything on my chart, take all the rest of it away. Well,
That's
I need
3
the
E
volume
rows
of
right
EWO.
there of your
Oh,
20
I
that
see.
we can do. That's 3 E rows right
You're,
there.
hey Bruno, you're doing a 2 minute EWO.
I got in sooner.
Wow.
Wow.
Because
That's a
he
good
knows
job.
to stop. He knows to
That's a
stop.
good job.
Mhm.
Oh, that's right. He's back with AMD.
Yes,
He said
yes,
that.
Bruno
He's back with
followed
him.
coach's rules.
He's
Bruno
back.
followed coach's
How ya-
rules all the time.
Good. That's a good
Bruno,
job,
how y'all
Bruno.
made?
That was
Who made
awesome.
up, Bruno? You AMD.
I mean, Bruno's doing his homework.
I called him the AMD Whisperer on my DM to him. I said, "Hey, AMD Whisperer."
AMD
Yeah, AMD
We
was
got Apple
tough.
Whisperer and AMD Whisperer.
So while you got that up there, Bruno, just explain EWO to maybe people in the audience there real quick
Yeah.
one on that green one. It's visually appealing anyway. So you just give it a 30-second synopsis of what the EWO is.
Yeah, so the Elliott wave oscillator, you have on a 2-minute strategy, which ends up being, which had been figured out to be the best time frame, a 2-minute EWO strategy. You're looking for a green indication, second candle. First candle will draw your attention. Second candle will have to be bigger than the previous candle with strong conviction. So if we expand this even more, this would make it a little bit tough to play, but on a third one for sure, you have confirmation that it's building momentum to the upside. You would enter your play, set your stop below what you paid, obviously. Ride this up, ride this wave. I wish I had a little marker because the markers feature, I don't know where the marker is on this thing.
Below or above what you paid?
But below what you paid. Below what you paid.
Bruno,
Stop.
what else
The
is
stop
right
line.
there? What else is right there, Bruno, as the EWO counters are building? As the signals on the counters, not the EWO, the candles,
the candle's
actual
the hammer,
candles.
right?
You also,
No,
yeah.
not the
I mean,
candles, but the whole chart pattern, the little pattern right there. What is that?
yeah. Well, you talking about this?
Yeah, that's almost a cup and
Well,
handle.
you have a consolidation period right here in this area. You also had a trend line drawn straight across. You got your little hammer. You got your little hammer right there. So if it breaks above this, but it has already broken previously, broken, rejected, came up, rejected, and then broke through, and eventually also made through another level that was drawn out. But let me see here. I'm trying to look for patterns. You also have, well, technically you have a cup and handle right here, which I wasn't really paying attention to. Yeah, and it is also at the high of the day. So, well, it's the opening bell, so it's going to be up there high. So once you have your cup forming, you have your handle, you should have a pop. Now, always what I tell people is on cups and handles, don't expect it to go forever. Just get the nice pop, come in on the handle, get a pop up, find your resistance line, and then figure out to see if this thing is going to consolidate and keep running or if you need to exit the position or shed. But yeah, so 2-minute EWO play, you ride this. I'm still looking for this damn drawing pencil here. Where's my pencil at? I hate this thing. Looking for a pencil. But anyway, you see a nice little stair step action going on the EWO. Some will even be will be bigger than the prior one. So look at this one from here to here. You had a nice little pop. If I'm not mistaken, also on the volume indicator that I have, there was a massive buy right in this area. This area right here. This one right here. At 10:30, there was a massive spike in volume, obviously aside from what the candle's doing, but also on the volume indicator as well.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah. So aside from what's on here, on my indicator, I had
What volume was that? Which one was the volume? The high volume.
10:30.
That one right there.
Yeah.
Exactly 10:30. Yeah.
See how these are somewhat uniformed in shape, like a nice little stair, and then you have a little bit of a bigger step right there. Once it gets up to this top, you'll start to see the EWOs are starting to level off a little bit, even though they're slightly bigger than the previous ones. Then it falls below, and then at that point, right here, you start to see this is somewhat level, even if you draw a line straight across. Here, this is just because I don't have a marker.
No, you're doing a great explanation, man. I appreciate it.
Right here. So then you'll start to see it's starting to kind of lose momentum. And on that third candle, which I mentioned before, you see how this is now you're on your way down. You're stepping down. Now, this isn't to say that you can't have things come down and then start back up again. But like I said, you live to fight another day. You get out and take your money. If that's what it's doing to you, get out, take your money, and then we'll do this all over again. Because if you notice, this isn't the play where it kept going, right? So it hangs out in this channel. Next thing you know, that wonderful, glorious EWO play now turns to crap. So at some point, you have to figure out, you have to decide between, is this going to be a runner all day? Is this going to be that glorious day that we look for? But we had a previous day that was glorious. Are we going to have the same result? So you got to use caution when you're doing these things the next day after a really good day, because now you're back up to here. And like I said, 110 obviously was a little bit over 110 was the critical area to break through. If we had that, we were going to have a good rest of the day. But this would have been your glorious EWO play. Then once you switch over, you could either say, okay, I could scalp this on the way down, or I could wait for the 2-minute EWO red to the downside. However, you'll notice that obviously this has more room, more length to go, more profits. This one is not so much. If you come down here and you do a 2-minute EWO, this isn't a strong conviction to get into a red just yet. So what would you do? Treat it as a scalp. Your third red candle down. You see the momentum is starting to shift. This candle right here is doji. It's undecided. So you don't know whether it's going to go up or down. That's the market telling you we don't know what direction we want to go. We have lines drawn out. If it breaks through this line with strong conviction, even if you got in halfway down this area, you could have still got down and made some money on the way down. You row this up. Once you're in, you allow it to come back up, retouch the level, then continue to the down. The yellow line was a major level for me, at least, was a major level, 107.65. Cross through it, but then all of a sudden I say, whoa, we got ourselves a little green action going on. I could have collected or I could have held on. But since you get up at the top, if you got in on the second or third red on the way down, I still have wiggle room. So even if this comes back up and doesn't break through my level to the upside, I could still sit here pretty. I have my stop in place, wait for this. You see that it lost momentum going up, sharp pull below that level again, hung out at that level, came back down, touched the next level down below that, came back up, and then pretty much you just sit here and you wonder, okay, at some point I'm going to have to slide my stop up and take my profit. And I believe this right here was the lunch hour. Yes, it was. This is the lunch hour coming back after at 1:30 at exactly 128. We had a little bit of surge in volume coming up, and I got stopped out. So riding it here, third, down, and then back up, and my stop was set above this, or right at this level here. See how I have straight across from this area here, these two?
Yeah.
So I have my level here. So if it broke above that, I was out. I actually got
I
out
must
here.
have been freaking nuts, man. Why was I in that? Because look at that. Look at the beginning of that. 2 beautiful trades, and then it rode VWAP literally the rest of the day. I had no business in there.
I didn't have to trade the rest of it. I just did 2 trades.
Yeah, them 2 trades was it. I should have been out after that last put. I had no business in that chopped up shit right there.
No need to go back.
I'm serious. That it just rode VWAP.
Let me can I ask the panel something about EWO? And because it's specifically what you're talking about, Bruno. How many of you have gotten into an EWO, had your, let's say, 25% stop, but as soon as you know, because
that was cool.
That's gonna cost you.
That was not me.
That wasn't me neither. I got the old phone range.
How many of you, when you get in, because normally, you know, this, if you look at the 2-minute EWO, you have some decent candles on that second one because you want the second one to be larger than the first. How many times do you ever get in on your limit order? And because I assume most people get into an EWO on the limit order. How many of you, when you do get in, it immediately is not positive, it goes down a little bit? Like what percentage of the times that you enter on the EWO? Because I have to say, I'm probably averaging about 60 to 80%.
Okay,
I was negative.
And you're not talking about a full color reversal. You're just talking about that candle goes down a little bit, but it stays the same color.
I can tell you.
I'm talking about the percent, you know, on the P&L. You know how you'll get in and it'll immediately go red, like negative 2%.
It's like a bad film.
It depends on where you get. It's a bad fill, and also depends on what your premium is that you're paying as well. Because if you're further out of the money, it'll show up red like that too.
And it may have moved fast between the time you clicked, if it was a fast moving bar.
Out the date.
Right.
So, well, I mean, you know, obviously,
I would
Bruno
say out of
does
10
Elos.
trades for me, at least 7 times that happens.
Okay. All
That's
right.
for
I
me.
can tell you
I don't
what's
know about
happening
anybody
now.
else.
I would probably say 5 out of
Listen.
5 for me, Bucket. And
Okay.
Listen, whenever the Evo signal come in, it's just giving you the momentum up there. All right. And so you don't know if they got that's where your support and resistance and all that coming. Most of the time it's gonna be from a strong move. So whenever it comes to those scalpers, they starting to take profits, right? So when they start, that's the breathe back from the candle that you're getting in. Or you're already getting in, you know, with the buy and the bid and all that. But that don't even matter. Whenever that second candle show, that's a push up. So whenever that push up comes, you got fast traders that's in the market, you know, like Coach, you know, the superstar traders. And some people that's just waiting right there to get out. So as soon as it goes up, and by the time you get your limit order together, it's gonna feel you whenever it's going down. So if you just wait a little bit, a lot of the times, like, all right, let me see what they got an EO right here. They got an EO right here. See that strong move up and then that candle with the tail. So if you got in on this second candle, come on over a little bit. Well, I thought he was. Come over. Second candle, Bruno. But you're not listening to me. But look at the second candle on this green hump right here.
Hold on, this is the option graph.
Oh, okay. All right.
What you need? What you need?
I didn't even know that you won't have
What you? No, this was my play. This is so you could see.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
look.
I know most people
Here's the
don't. I spend all my time on the options chart because that's the only place I can see my. I mean, I'm watching my option chart more than I watch.
Me too. I'm the same way. I'm
I
always
have the
100%
option
on it.
I have the option chart on one. I have Trading View on another, and then when I need to look at the L2, I'll just click on the AMD regular and then flip back to the position option graph.
So look at that second candle. The second, which one it is? One.
Hold on, let me go back to what you want.
Yeah,
Well, you can leave it on that one. On that one, it's fine, Bruno. Well, it don't matter which one it is. Well, I gotta find another one.
I got a question for you, Bruno.
Yeah.
You actually do use the level 2 to enter with your option?
No, I'm looking at level 2 for just price movement of the underlying stock price.
Okay.
See if there's buyers, sellers, and where the bulk of the sellers are sitting.
Oh, so you must be. Oh, you're using Weeble.
Yeah. Weeble.
That's weird.
Yeah, man.
Thinkorswim doesn't have that.
I'm looking if there's heavy sellers loading up at a certain price, then you can kind of get an idea if it's gonna be a continuation or if the buyers are gonna eat up the sellers. So if you have like what's the most I've seen, like we'll say anywhere between 1,000 to 5,000 shares, and you see them getting closer and closer to the top, then you kind of have an idea where there's going to be some level of resistance because those buyers are going to eat up those orders, and then those sellers that are sitting there, because remember, if 1,000 go in or 5,000 go in to sell, and you look on the left side and there's only 400 that want to buy at that price point, 400 to 500 to 600. Yeah, it's going to take away. Now, again, this moves so fast that sometimes it's hard to keep up, but you kind of have an idea. Okay, if we have half the volume of buyers sitting there that are willing to take 500 of those 1,000, then you kind of have an idea that there's still sellers sitting there that want to sell. Whatever's left over.
Yeah, that's what we do in a pre-market because there's not as much volume. You have to use the L2.
My question to you, Bruno, is if the coach's indicator that he has shows a sell, say an hour before market opens, is it market opens? Do you still go ahead with the EWO to short side if the trading indicator tells you to, or should I wait?
I'm trying to follow what you're saying, what you're asking.
I missed the question.
He's saying if the EWO triggers an hour before market opens,
in pre-market,
a put or a call.
Pre-market.
Yeah. Do you get into that and ride that low?
No, I'm honestly gonna wait. I'm
Pre-market.
gonna wait because there's been times somebody had the example on the Qs today where it was green all pre-market. Give me one sec.
Thank you.
And if we're talking about options, you can't trade options in pre-market anyway.
You can, but what he's trying to say is if you see an EWO forming in the pre-market and it's a continuation, he wants to go continuation. I would highly suggest against that because
Especially
you don't know
Yeah.
what it's doing in the pre-market doesn't mean it's what it's going to do in the
market.
opens.
Major
Because-
sellers.
And then a lot of times it's gonna be
Is that
either
where
profit
I'm
taken
sorry.
in the as soon as the market open. Like
What would
Coach
you
say
do?
this all the
Wait
time.
an hour?
Is
I
that
mean,
where Coach said a day or two ago? I saw him say on a stream. Always when the market opens, I think he said wait for the first or second
Yes.
bar or
Give it a
15
few
minutes.
minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, give it.
I hear.
I
So
him.
listen.
I give it 15 minutes to see what that first
Yeah.
15-minute candle does.
So give
Yeah,
it
I
some
heard
time,
Coach say that.
or even
Yeah.
30.
Okay,
Hey, listen.
so go ahead.
During the pre-market, right? And I hear Coach say this a lot, over and over and over. During the pre-market, okay, if it's up during the pre-market, it's probably gonna go down, and then if it's down, it's probably gonna go up. Why? Because this is up, they're gonna be taking profits and leaving. Right? And if it's down, it's gonna be like a demand is gonna shoot up. But this could be fake. The pre-market is one of the hardest ones to trade. That's why we do the pre-market setup. So the best thing to do is instead of trying to take EWOs right then, because that's like the open market is for like the professional to trade in. All right. So the pre-market setup, I call it the top zone. That's a channel, right? Price to leave the top zone unless you want to get top. It's just going to be easier. Like traders be like, I'm struggling and this, that, no, that's because you're setting yourself up for failure in the first place. There's a lot of hype around that first 15, 10, 30 minutes. Listen, let the market figure. It's a battle going on right now.
Yeah.
Then you got so
Let it
much
pick a direction,
volume
yeah.
right now. This is the most volume probably of the day other than power. What's going on is you got our market going on. Okay, you got the London market. It's coming to a close. Prices done changed overnight, so people might wake up today. Oh, now I'm winning. You know, like they wake up. Oh, I got a whole bunch of them, so they're gonna take profits. Or, oh, it's down. They didn't even stop me out. They ain't got no stop losses. That's why get out. So it's a lot going on in that first 30 minutes. So just wait it out. Now, if it break outside of that pre-market setup, if it's one of the pre-market, tickets that we do, if it ain't, you trade something else. Learn how to do the pre-market setup for yourself. The first 30 minutes is volatile.
Yeah, I remember seeing a quick video of a gentleman
Good point, Ralph.
who did like 87 trades or something like that. Yeah.
Yes.
And he said
Yes.
he waited the first half hour or hour and then he started to trade because he said he would lose if he jumped
This
in.
is correct.
Right.
Yeah.
So my whole plan is to wait half hour or
Mhm.
hour. I will not jump in at the beginning or even the first 30
So-
minutes.
That's
How long
smart.
you been trading?
Eventually, you will be able to, but
Yeah.
at least for these
Yeah.
next couple of months, I would wait it out.
How
I
long
do
you
the
been
same thing.
trading? What's his name? How
Ralph?
long
Which
you been
one?
trading for?
JD.
Oh, me?
JD's
Oh,
not trading yet. He's just listening.
I've never traded in my life. I've never
Okay,
bought
so this
stock.
good.
I've never.
Listen, this
Yeah.
good. So what you want to do is, get you a paper account or whatever. Just take every Evo. You want to just take every Evo signal. Every time you see the second candle, just get in the trade. I'm gonna pay do this in paper, so that way you can, you know what I'm saying. This is gonna really build the confidence, right? Because you don't want to cherry pick them. So by doing this, you're gonna become robotic, right? With the Evo, you need to be robotic with it. That way you have the confidence to know that even no matter what happened, I take these signals, I'm gonna come on top, right? By doing this is gonna let you know which ones work, which ones don't, right? Ask
So
Bucket,
Ralph,
he
let
did the
me
same thing.
jump in there just for a quick second. Not to
What's up?
belabor the point, but that was the point that I was trying to make with the 20, because so many people get in and do one and then, oh man, that didn't work. I'm not doing that. They won't do at least a minimum of 20 straight. You feel me?
Yeah,
So
you're
which
exactly right.
correct.
You're
They get
exactly
in
right.
and do a few, and then they get out and say, "Oh, that shit don't work. I'm not doing it anymore." They won't even give it a minimum of 20. So what you're saying is so on point. At
You're
least give it.
exactly right, because it's
Yep.
gonna take
At
way
least
more
give
than
it that
20.
many.
It's gonna take
I've
way
been
more than
watching
20.
I've been watching for about a week and I've been listening to everyone talk, and I'm starting to see that one, when you come in, you have to draw your day's support and resistance.
Yes.
You have to understand what the market is doing. And, anything that we do to get Confluence to tell us, hey, this 2-minute EWO is going to be on point and this is where I need to make a trade. I'm starting to understand that now.
You're going to do well.
Let me tell you something else. Let me tell you something else that's going to help you out. Don't overanalyze it. All right, thinking too much. That's one of the problems we've been having. Overanalyzing. Is this trade? Oh, this confidence. Oh, you got a resistance right here. That might start the trade. Guess what? Boom! It's done left without you. Price gone. You now you late to the trade. Now you done entered into a weak position. Don't sit there and just be trying to see how many confluence it is. And
Right now,
all that. Just get into the trade. Just get in.
Right now, I'm just drawing a high of day, low, and I'm looking at the EWO, and I'm also looking at the cloud.
Oh yes, you need to do all that. I'm talking about the EWO entry. Don't complicate the EWO entry.
Oh no. I'm just doing that.
And
if it's looking good to me, what I'm going to do when I do start is, as soon as I see that, I'm gonna go ahead and take the shot.
Okay.
And just
listen, it's gonna take time.
Yeah.
So
ahead, Bucket,
we have a question in chat. Edward, if you could explain a little bit about what Zoom or what you're referring to, we'd be happy to answer it.
What's this question, Bucket?
How you can join. Is this the Zoom? This is actually the Aftermarket. Zoom is part of the
paid membership of the group
at American Dream Trading. If you're a monthly member, lifetime member, VIP member. So that is available. The Zoom is available all day. But please clarify your question so we can answer it. A lot of training material is available both on Coach's YouTube channel, which this is a part of, and even in the free membership area on the Discord. So you have a variety of different avenues to do your training, okay? But please clarify in the comments so we can answer.
Can you
Future
do me
Trader,
a favor?
I'd like to get back to your question. Just so you know, every morning when Coach is doing his marketing spiel to the social media, I look at Apple and Uber, which are the two I start with every day. And I look at them, and sometimes they have huge EWO bars. And I'm like, well, I'm not even going to be able to trade today because I can't get on these EWOs. I kid you not, within the first 30 minutes from 9:40 to 10 o'clock, that EWO will either flip or retest. It has never just gone, and I'm just talking these two specific stocks. It will never just go from open. It will test and because as Ralph was saying earlier, people are taking profits, some are getting in, getting out. I have never found it yet to where if it is high EWO for a put or a call in that first 30 minutes, that it won't either get down or retest VWAP or signal in the other way. It just has not happened for me. So I don't get distressed at all. I did at the start, but now I don't. So it will come back within the first 30 minutes of the day unless something news happens. You know what I mean?
Listen, during the first 30 minutes, there's something Don got down pat that you can do during this first 15 minutes. What he can look for, friend? Go ahead, Don. What he can look for? Something that happens within the first 15 minutes.
Yep, Miranda, thank you for giving Edward that link. I think he's talking about, can he get in on the panel here? That Restream link, it says Restream right in that link that she put out there. Thank you, Miranda. Click that and follow the prompts and you can get in on the panel.
Thanks, Dawn. Thanks. Yeah. I didn't know what he was asking.
Yeah, I think he's talking about how can he get in here? And then he's like, well, is this the Zoom? How can I join? So yeah, I think Miranda put it in the link. She put the Restream link down there. In answer to what Ralph said, the first 15-minute candle has two parts to it. So the first 15-minute candle, the simplest version of it is if it's red, chances are that means the stock may be red for the entire day. There's a high probability it's going to be a red day if that first 15-minute candle is red. I mean, it's been red for the first 15 minutes. That's a long time when it comes to day trading. So if that first 15-minute candle is red or green, that's indicative of the probability of what it's going to be that day. The other part of that is that if the 15-minute candle, right, comes in lower than the pre-market high, chances are it's going to be under and it's going to be red for the day. Comes in above the pre-market high, you got nothing to worry about. Chances are it's going to go ahead and move up. But if it comes in below the pre-market high, there's a high probability that's going to be a down day for that stop.
And that applies to large cap
That's
stocks
awesome.
also.
Yeah.
That doesn't
And
apply
there's
to
another
your
question in
small
from the
stocks.
chat of Vivian, and I know this is in Bruno's heart. Do you have a second to explain ATR?
Yeah, I saw that. I was waiting for you guys to finish.
Yeah, I'm wanting to hear this. Average true range, right?
I do too, Dawn. I would have
Yeah,
asked
I've been
Vivian,
wanting to
didn't
know
you?
about average true range
Yeah,
too,
that's
because
great
I don't
for stocks.
understand it.
Yeah,
That's amazing. I
so
just saw that today.
So I know we use 14-day average true range, which is ATR and Webull settings, and then you change it to 14. However, and this is no secret, I've been playing around with this and switching it to 1 day because I'd like to see what it moves for the day that I'm actually trading. And then also we had a lot of movement yesterday, obviously because of earnings. So when you set it to 1, I mean, you could set it to 14. It'll give you the last 14 days of what the stock is moving.
Okay.
And that will be on the right-hand side here in this corner.
Is that the norm to have 2-week range?
Well, that's what we started out with.
Okay.
But I could tell you while you guys were talking, I was doing some math and measuring these candles, and I'm gonna tell you this. Obviously, if you notice, there hasn't been any big, ginormous candles throughout the day. The only big ones were in the first, I would say, the first hour of trading.
Yeah.
So we had all this action going on. So this candle by itself, when you set it to 1 on the ATR and you hover over the candle, if you look there, and I measured the candle before changing the setting. I counted about 140 on the candle size. If you look on the bottom left-hand side where it says ATR.
Don, we can't see.
We can't
see it.
Yeah, say we can't see it.
Give me one
How's
second.
she getting that? Bruno,
give me,
you
Don,
use
I got
that
it.
to get the stop losses? I mean, you
Don,
use
I
that
got
to
it.
get the stop.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, so this candle, right, or this one first candle was I calculated based off a rough estimate. I counted that as 140. This whole movement. Just so you know, this one candle, if you were to get in on a put, 2 contracts, that would have been $100 win right there, just on this one candle. So $100 win on one candle, 2 contracts. This candle over here, if you notice it, 141.
2 contracts at what strike price though? Like 1 out of the money, 2
Well,
out of the money.
I'm doing it based. I'm doing it based off the delta. So I'm giving you roughly about a 50-cent delta.
Okay.
So if you do
That's
a 50,
1 in the money.
one in, one technically, one out,
Okay.
and then 1 in would put you an additional couple more
10.
cents. So
Okay.
I would say just at 1 out of the money would be $100.
Okay.
So, and then on the flip side, how much you can lose, how fast you can lose. I did this math right here at 5 contracts. This candle right here, from the top to the very bottom, from the top of the wick to the very bottom, this candle on 5 contracts would be a $375 loss.
Oh shit.
So right off the bat, if your account size can't support a 1 to 3% loss,
Yep.
and I say that humbly, if you can't support a $375 loss, then 5 contracts is too much for you, because if you were to put a stop in, if you were to put in a stop below this, or even right at this line, and it triggered the stop, you would have been out 375.
Oh, I ain't even
And you know this candle came in hot and fast. 1 minute we're sitting there riding the trend up, we're riding it up, and then boom, it just came.
Is that
right
the
down.
1 minute or 2 minute?
This is on the 2 minute.
Okay, so again, what is the ATR? Okay, it tells us how much
ATR is an
we-
average true range of the movement of the stock. So average true range of the overall price movement. So if you have on the right side, you have a 28, or now, well, it just changed to 40. Well, every time I hover over a candle or I move the graph, this thing changes on the right side. You can measure candle sizes, and you can measure on the right side overall average for the day. So overall average for the day is 49, because what it does is it factors in, because we're obviously at the end of the day and this day is over. So right now, as I move the graph over more and more, it finished off the day. If I were to go all the way to aftermarket, it finished off the day now because there's very light volume. I got 4 cents on the right side. So if we were to hover over here, average day was 4 cents, but there was very little movement. But as you continue to move to where it was more volatile, you see now it's 16 cents on the right side, and that candle alone is 49 cents. So if you're doing setting stops in the which is super dangerous because it's highly volatile and these candles are going to move. So if you're thinking, oh, I'm going to set a 50-cent stop, these candles are going to wipe you out as soon as you set a 50-cent stop. So what you do is,
okay, not to stop you. So you're saying the average true range is okay. So it moves for the 2 minutes that we're in. The average true range is 16 cents per candle.
well, it all depends, because as you progress throughout the day, your average true range for that day is going to be different. It's going to change because as it starts to slow down and there's not enough volume and the candles are channeling, it starts to create the formula starts to figure out, okay, it's moving really, really slow. It might have been $1 when we first started the market because it was so volatile. As we progress and there's less volatility or there's less movement, that average is going to change as you progress throughout the day. So, so when starting off, if say you're one of those people that like to trade at the open of the bell, right off the bat, it's going to give me the average. It's going to give me the average here in the corner. And you'll see this thing move when you have the setting to a day or 14 day. If you set it for a day, I personally think, and I have to present coach with this, I don't know if we should switch this to a 1 day average, because if I were to switch this back to a 14 right now, I'm going to show you why I have a feeling that, because right now it's showing this candle at 22 cents on average for the last 14 days. So do I want to put a stop in at 22, 25 cents when I know this thing's going to rip me at $1.38? Or do I, and again, this all varies based off of your position. So if you're in with one contract, the loss will be less than if you say were five contracts. So at $1.38, if you set a stop at $1.38, you're going to get, if you set it less than $1.38, you're going to get stopped out every single time on these massive pulls.
Yeah.
So this is another reason.
Bruno, more clarification. How are you using this? I that's what I don't understand.
So this is more of a reason why maybe you should stay away from the open, because if you're trying to set a stop, you're going to almost get stopped out every single time. When it's this volatile. Now I've seen days
more
where
volatile.
when I say volatile, these big candles, right? Because you notice that there's other smaller candles all around, but the first hour to hour and a half, you have like these big candles, and as you progress throughout the day, the candles get smaller and smaller. You notice that? So what I'm trying to get at is setting a stop may be very difficult. If say you're setting a stop on an average range of 20 to 50 cents, we'll say 50 being the most, you're going to get stopped out, because this is not 50 cents isn't going to hold you. It's not going to hold you down. Right. It's going to stop you out, because you need a bigger range. But this isn't me telling you, okay, well, Bruno said the candle moved $1.30. I'm going to set my stop at $1.30 every single time. You have to analyze it and see. So what I do is, now this is the stock, right? So we have a different candle size for the contract. So if I were to go back and click on my contract and I'm in a call, and we'll go to over here. So right now my average true range is on a 14-day average. This candle would measure at 33 cents. The overall, well, it's hard to tell the overall because the market's done and closed. But on the right side, you'll see overall on the right side at 9 cents is what I talk about all the time. So if I were to go to measure this, we'll say this one here. This is 33 cents. If I were to measure this, this is $1.91. Somebody do the math real quick. $1.91, the bottom of the wick.
158.
148.
Pretty much, yeah.
43 cents.
Okay, so if I hover over it, the ATR 1.4 is 33.71, right? So watch this. When I flip it, and I do this all the time, if I flip it to 1, now 33 cents is very close to the 40 range, right? So it's not horrible, but if I switch it back to a 1 and I go back to that candle, what is the ATR for that candle on the left-hand side? When I just flip it. 42, right? So which one's closer, the 42 or and this is now on the contract. This is on the contract. So if I'm setting a stop and I start to get the average, and if I was like, if I go here and this one, and then I look at this one, this is 38, this is 42, this is 44. So I know in the beginning of the bell, now if I measure this one, this is 52, and I go here, this is 86 cents on the contract. So when you're what I was showing you before with AMD was for shares. What I'm showing you now is for your contracts. So if when you highlight it, now it's 86 cents. That's pretty high. Normally, typically we say 20 to 30 cents, but then again, it had all that volatility in the opening of the bell. So now as the day progresses, and I can get an idea just by looking at this, if I say, okay, these look pretty similar, these look similar, these look similar. So I'm going to take these 4 candles, and now I'm ahead, right? So if I'm in a put, I entered my put, and now I quickly will look 34, 41, 31. If I take the average of those 3, I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to give myself a 45-cent stop on my put. I'm okay with 45 cents. You got to make sure you're okay with 45 cents, because if this pulls back 45 cents on one contract, that's 45 bucks, right? If you multiply that by 5 or 10 contracts, it's going to hurt. It's going to be in the 100 range.
Big time.
So you have to understand, this isn't a rule to say, okay, well, if I measure it and it's 40 cents or 35 cents, that's what I'm going to set it at. No, you got to make sure your risk tolerance says, I'm okay getting stopped out and losing 50 bucks versus getting stopped out and losing $200 to $300. So that's where you have to make that decision. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, oh, set a 40-cent stop, you're good, because that might not be your risk tolerance versus what I'm okay losing. Make sense?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yep.
So you use ATR to assist you with your stopping in contracts.
Yes.
Yep.
You see how
That's all you use
you see how it took Mark a little bit of time. He had to try to figure that out, write it down, do whatever kind of math he did. Just by setting it that way, I can hover over the candle, and in my head I could say, okay, 35, 38, 41. Where am I at? 40. If I want to set 40, I'll set 40 cents. I don't have to sit here and do math. I could just select the candles and see what the prior run was. And then once I got past this hump and I got into this territory, these candles look almost identical. Well, a little bit less. This one's 19, this one's 22. And guess what? That 30, 40 cent stop is not going to protect me, because I am now, these candles are much smaller in size and they're not as hurtful. So now this one's 22 cents. So as it progresses and moves into a new category, or when I say a new delta and it's generating money for you, now I can kind of slow it down and be like, okay, where am I at now? 40 was to get me into the trade to protect my premium.
Somebody mute Don.
So the smaller the number, Bruno, the more sensitive it is.
Somebody kick Ralph out.
I'm saying, I'm trying to listen, friend. Like,
so 40 will protect
Mark,
me.
you're gonna stop busting my chops, brother.
40 will protect me on the entry. Once I'm past the 40 hump and this thing starts to, calm down a little bit, and now we're in the 20 range, now that 40 can turn into 25, 30 cents. So I can kind of minimize the loss a little bit if it does pull back and not pull back to 40. And then next thing you know, it stops me out at 40, but I didn't get 40 filled. I got 41, 42, 43, 44 filled because of the candle jump. It's not going to trigger. It will trigger, but it's not going to give me the 40 at 40. Make sense? Like it's going to, I go a little bit extended past my, so once I'm
a couple cents.
Once I'm in the green, now I can worry about reanalyzing it, looking at the candles and saying, okay, I'm now going to go from 40 to 20. 20 is still a good range. 25 is a good range. But now it's not that I'm recouping the extra 15 cents, but I'm kind of minimizing that the loss that I would have had. I'm going to shrink that loss down, but it's still give me a good enough distance away from keeping me in the trade, but at the same time, I'm not going to lose the 40. I'll lose the 20 instead of the 40. 25.
Yeah. And also, if you, I will. I always trade off the option chart. I mean, I have the stock chart on my other screen. I do watch them both, but using that ATR now, I just recently added that actual chart on there, the indicator. But I was just going by putting my cursor on the bottom of the candle and on the top of the candle doing the math. This makes it a lot easier. You just
This
go
is
bang,
a hell of
got
a lot, lot easier.
Now, when I get into when I get into it where it's really volatile, when it goes through periods of volatility on any stock that I'm in, and I look at that ATR, I'm like, okay, it's 21 cents. And if I get a big rise up where I'm going to be green and, I'm in the money for sure. It's just a matter of how much profit I want to take. If it goes up and I get I know I watch at ATR. If it says keep 20 cents space in there, I will adjust my stop up and down just a little bits at a time as it goes up. And I wait because there's going to be a pullback eventually. And I will slide my stop down, even though I'm still in the profit. I'm not saying doing this when you're losing money. You don't want to go red. I will tweak it a little bit just to keep that spacing in there and wait for it to go back up. Now, if it's going to be on a downturn, I won't do that. But you get into that 5 to 7 candle rule and you might get a pullback. I will actually fluctuate it so that I don't get stopped out but I don't want to lose all that profit either. So.
Hey, Bruno.
Yeah.
By measuring that price range, does this also dictate how many contracts you use also?
Well, in my mind, I'm going to know right off the bat. If it goes back to 40, I'm in 5 contract. That's $200, right?
Right.
If it's $40 a contract times 5, that's $200. Am I doing the math right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know that I'm going to, at any given point, if this thing goes against me, I might be out the 200 off of my premium. But then again, remember, my premium might be 5 contracts at $1.60 today. 160 times 5, that's over $600, $700, $800. So I'm going to lose 200 of that $600 or $800. I'm doing rough math in my head. I would say around $800, $700-800 at 5 contracts. Let me just, you guys get the point.
Hey guys, I gotta go. I'll see you guys 4 a.m.
All right, Mr. Mark, you always leave us.
Hey,
all right, Mark. Thank you so much for being here, bro. See you in the morning.
On that note, guys,
David's in the audience. I don't know if you could get him to come up to the panel or not.
I hope so.
What's up, David? How you doing, brother? It's a spot for you if you want to come up.
That's just it. You just show up every day to the new trader and everybody else. That's just it. You learn something. See, I ain't know nothing about. Listen, I knew what the ATR was, but the way Bruno just broke that down, he brought a whole new meaning to it. I
did. I appreciate it.
You know what I'm saying?
And David's the voice. David's the voice behind it, giving me the 14 makes an indicator more sensitive and produces a choppier moving average. An ATR setting higher than 14 makes it less sensitive and produces a smoother reading. So at some point,
every day.
Yeah, at some point it stabilizes when you don't have these volatile movements of the candles. So it does stabilize. I just like to I flip back and forth. I flip flop and I see, because I'll be honest with you, when I was doing it during volatile times at 14, it wasn't giving me the average. It wasn't giving me a good number, and that's what worked for me. Because of during times like this, and I was getting stopped out almost every single time. And I'm like, why am I getting stopped out if I'm following the ATR, or if I'm looking at the candle sizes? And I've known about this forever, as far as just hovering over it and seeing what each candle represented and looking in the corner for the average. But I was getting stopped out every single time during the volatile movements. When it was slow and steady, not so much, but that made me want to compare the different ranges. So if it works, it works. If it doesn't, then we'll find something else that doesn't, or that does.
Wow.
Yeah.
Guys, it's been a hell of a show. I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to get out of here. We are coming up on the 7 o'clock hour. Thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate all of you. Everybody down in the chat that had questions, thank you. Thank you, Miranda, for putting those links out. Arlo, everybody. Bruno, thank you, brother, as usual.
Last disclaimer. Please don't get bogged down in the weeds with this. If you can't figure it out, like, practice with it and get used to it.
Yeah.
But if it's gonna bog
Well
you
said.
down and mess you up on trading, don't get.
Just wait.
It's a
Yeah.
tool to help you and work with it and try to play with it a little bit. But if you can't be quick with it and you're still finding
Yes.
like if it's messing you up and you're not getting in and out of trades because you're trying to figure out what the ATR is, then
Yeah,
just
it
hold
is
off
not
until you get
absolutely necessary to trade with an ATR.
Yeah,
So
I recommend
don't
That's it. I'm glad.
don't
That's
over
a
bog
good
yourself
point.
with info.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
for a
Yes.
stop. Just for
I
a
say
stop
pick
purposes.
trade.
Once you're in,
It's another
then
tool
Yeah.
to add to your, yeah.
Find
That's
what
it.
works for you. That's it. Just find what works for you.
Yeah.
I'll be
Yeah.
doing
Okay.
disclaimers till I turn blue in the face.
And Dawn,
Yes.
before we log off, anybody in the YouTube, please smash the like button
Oh,
Yeah,
of
yeah.
course.
before
Oh
you
yeah.
leave.
Of course.
Yes.
And I'd like to give a special shout out to JD and Bubbles, their first time on the show. Thank you so
Shout out.
much.
Shout out.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's
thank
great
you.
seeing you, Diesel Dan.
Well, thank you, sir. You
Great
too,
to
man.
see you here, buddy.
No, Bubbles ain't a boy. It's a girl. Well, I didn't know
I
which
know,
one it was.
Bubbles. Thank you for being here, sweetheart. I appreciate you. And JD, yeah, hopefully you picked up some good stuff today here, bro. And please continue. I love the fact that you're not trading and training only. Use all
Yes.
the resources available to you. They're all over in the Discord. All of them will lead you to anything that you need, the ebooks, the training materials. There's training videos that will lead you right back here to YouTube. Separated out into separate lists, playlists.
Don't be afraid
EWO,
to ask for help.
support and resistance, right. Ask for
Well,
24/7 in the Discord. You can ask a question. Somebody's going to be there to answer it.
Yes.
I appreciate it, and I will. Thank you so much. I only hope I can give back as much as you guys are giving me. So
Oh,
thank
It
you.
is
you
not
will,
gonna
brother. You
happen
will.
overnight.
And come on the panel anytime you want, dude.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, come on the panel anytime you want. Guys, this has been a stellar show. I'm excited about the
As
20
always.
20 trades exercise challenge. We have to
Yeah.
do it a minimum of 20 times and start getting consistent, because Ralph, for all of our bickering and bantering, we love each other. We're cool.
Oh, yeah.
He's absolutely right. It's going to be way more than 20 trades, obviously.
Yes.
But if you don't
Yes.
at least do that many straight back to back to back, you're never going to get any traction with the EWO strategy. So commitment is what we're after. Commitment to the process, not the profit. Right now, you are committing yourself to learning the process. Okay. And the video that I use is right there in the link. Is right in the chat of this video. If you want to watch that 100 gazillion times to get the 5-star process down. Okay. All right, guys. With that being said,
Ralph, sit down.
I'm already sitting.
Sit down, Ralph.
Sitting. See, I'm already sitting down.
The man said you can always get a job as a meteorologist.
Overanalyzing, bro. Listen,
you gotta
I
crack
heard
me
it
up
this
at least
morning.
once every
Hey,
time,
listen.
right, Bruno?
I want to say one
All
more
right,
thing.
I gotta go.
I want to say one more thing before we leave.
Have a good one, guys.
Yeah.
All right.
too, man.
All right.
JD out.
All right, feature. Oh well, whoever said that. Listen, if you struggling, just try this. All right. If you struggling, you tired of losing money or whatever, because this is what helped me a lot. It's one of my aha moments. Instead of trading, all right, you can trade half of the day. Well, every day ain't gonna be a trading day. You know that. Just take the day off and just watch coach. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Instead of trading, just listen to them. Listen to everybody that come in with the question. You know what I'm saying? Listen to their question. Because you're probably gonna catch something that you didn't know. And see, that's one of the things. Like, coach ain't there the whole day, so the time while he there, you take that time to learn from him. Then you still got the rest of the day to trade or whatever. You know what I mean? Because he's gonna be there till around probably about whatever time it is he leaves. You ain't gonna miss nothing. All right, you probably was gonna get in the trade and get chopped up anyway. That's what's gonna happen early anyway. So listen to coach, and I'm telling you, you'll learn. You'll learn. Then whenever he leaves, see if you can put it together on your own. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just trying to, oh, I got this, and all that. It's a lot because coach be going through it real fast. So you might have to rewind it or whatever, mark the time. You got the clock up there. And then if he say something, you'll figure it out, ask somebody. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Instead of waiting till you're so bogged down until you have to come in here, That's all.
Absolutely. Good point, Ralph.
Tomorrow,
Ralph.
come into the Zoom call with your hands raised.
Yes,
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 None,
yes,
none,
yes,
none of that,
yes.
none of that, none of
rules.
that stuff that was happening today. Hands raised,
No,
please.
no talking
Yeah,
over each
rules.
other,
I gotta
and
start.
let's respect each other, I mean,
Yeah.
just because, it's we're from all walks of life, but you, wallet size doesn't mean you can just talk to somebody any kind
That's
of way. So,
absolutely.
Exactly.
you know
And
what I
listen,
mean? So, let's get that right.
what Don said earlier, that's true, man. Don, listen, we argue a lot or whatever. Well, at the end of the day, we're gonna move on and get over that. You know, I don't want to gloss. I don't want to. It's gonna be hard. And since trading is not easy.
Yep.
It ain't.
There's still,
Yeah.
there's still a lot of not. There's no ability to read the room and understand.
Mhm.
And everyone, I believe, well, everyone in here is over 18, right? So I think we're all adults, and I think that if one person, I mean, I didn't look at it that way, but if somebody felt like they were being picked on, that person has their own voice to say, hey, I didn't appreciate that. No, people don't have to fight each other's battles. That's one. And then the other thing is, I don't personally think what was being said was coming off as like, trying to attack somebody's character or anything like that. It was just, this is what coach teaches. We want to be able to stay in line with what he teaches. And there's no need to interrupt or jump in after somebody because you feel like that person's getting attacked. They're adults.
Absolutely.
They even blatantly said, I don't feel attacked, or I don't feel like it's attacking my character, or whatever the word again. Reprimanding.
Yeah.
That was the word that was used. There's no need for that. If you have an issue, take it up with coach, send him a private message, but leave that stuff out of the chat room, because then you're going to send the whole chat into a spiral. And then I got to pull over on the side of the road to try to get in there. And then by the time I pull over to try to unmute myself to say something, because I shouldn't be talking and driving because I didn't have my ear pods in.
Yeah.
By the time that happened, everybody's getting muted. So I was like, okay, things are going to settle down by the time I get back. We need to do better. We really do. And that is for everybody, not just moderators, everybody. When I say better, you don't hear me flipping out. I'm saying this with love. Like, we bring everybody back, but at the same time, we have to respect each other.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Well said, Bruno.
Yes.
Right, Bruno. I'm gonna leave people alone, Bruno. Stop it.
I need people to raise their hands is what I need them to do.
That's right.
We'll try to follow that as best as we can.
Dude, I sat there and listened to that whole thing, and I'm like, as a moderator, should I be getting it? And I'm like, you know what? There's enough Lee's in there. There's enough crap going on right now. I'm not jumping in there. That was just ridiculous. And I'm glad Lee did what he did. I'm sorry that, somebody got cut off and all of that, but I'm glad Lee did what he did, because at some point it had to be stopped. Somebody had to say, hey, skirt, and put the brakes on, and he did that. And then you came in very professionally and said what you said about raising the hand. So like I said earlier, I didn't want to put it out over here, but we handled it professionally. Coach has got a good team,
There's 150 to 500 people in the Zoom call at any given point. It's not just one person's show. We kind of use the space together. It's not, shouldn't be a platform just for one person to talk. And I'm saying this without mentioning any names. It's not, trust me, your feedback is valuable, but if you just jump in there without a hand raised, and then you're just talking and talking, and then you come back, and then I want to add something, and you're coming back, and you keep adding stuff to it, that's fine, but just raise your hand and do it in a cordial manner and not step on anybody's toes as they're speaking. Let people finish their sentences. That's the biggest thing that annoys me, is like, let them finish their thought process. Once you know that they're done, then you respond.
Yeah.
One more thing.
My last comment for tonight: who's been airbrushing Coach on his new thing?
It's called AI technology.
Is that what it is?
That confused me too.
Under your name, Bruno, and I mean, he kind of looks like an actor now.
Yeah.
Like this is his photo shoot.
Where did that picture come from?
Dude, I have that on a video that I did with Coach, kind of rocking out a little bit. It's like he's on $1.
Yeah.
Look, it's on his Instagram. Go check it out. It is so cool. It looks like he's on money.
Yeah.
It's on Coach's Instagram. It's
it didn't,
really cool.
It didn't take the scammers long to start duplicating them.
I don't think it helps that he says it on live social media that he's changed his name, right? So they just jump on it.
like vultures, like
One more
freaking
thing.
vultures. Oh, he changed it. Oh, let's go check that out.
For the
Oh,
traders who, you know, they got it and everything, they doing good, and you know, they add other stuff. Just if you add other stuff, that's fine. I don't like whenever they add other stuff to like our strategy. It's just gonna confuse. We already overanalyzing stuff, you know. So like if you bring in other things, there may be a suggestion that may help somebody, but for the new people, they need to stay focused on just the one strategy because they try to bring other stuff they don't know what they're doing. Then it's outside. Then you know you're gonna get confused. Like we have a whole bunch of new people coming. They come new every day. So if it's something like new, different that you using, I meant to say in the beginning, that you started out systematic. You need to say systematic is what I'm trying to say. So if it's something different that you may do outside of what we do here, that's fine. Just don't force nobody in with it because we're trying to keep it simple in the beginning, for the new people. That makes sense. I jack that up.
It really
Because
does.
the way I was looking, I'm like, you know.
No, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah. So all the advanced stuff, like that's fine if that works for you. You know what I mean? But in the beginning, because what's gonna happen is they're gonna think the strategy ain't working already because the strategy ain't working because you just ain't did it enough. Then they're gonna try to do something else. That's gonna confuse them. And then next thing you know, you're gonna be done lost all that time. It's not gonna be working. You're gonna come to coach. Coach gonna be like, "How long you been trading?" You're gonna feel like you can scalp. Everybody knows what's gonna happen. You know, it's just gonna you're just wasting time. So just if you
So
have
that's right.
something
Keep it simple.
right.
All right, I'm gonna go holler at Christina real quick, and I'm not even saying that sarcastically or jokingly. I gotta get with her on something.
It's the way you just said that. I was like,
I'm gonna go holler at her. I'm gonna go holler at her real quick. I'll see everybody. I'll see everybody tomorrow.
All right, guys.
Everybody have a good night.
I have a good night, guys.
Yep, you too. See you tomorrow.
All right.